Hey everybody, welcome to Fable Forge on Penny for a Tale, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. live show of Hearts of Shadow. A little bit of technical difficulties to get started, but we are here, and I'm going to pitch it over to Mitch, just because I don't know if Penny has any announcements. We don't have any personal announcements for Fable Forge. So, Penny, do you have any announcements for channel, all that stuff?
Yeah, heck yeah. So of course we have our Kickstarter coming up May 12th, which you can check out the pre-launch page right now, Necropunk. So check that out. We have a one-shot going on this Saturday, and of course we continue with Pathfinder 2e on Sunday. So lots of stuff happening here. Furthermore, you might even see us later on at PAX Unplugged. We're just gonna throw that teaser out there right here and now, and that's it for me.
And I didn't get an invite, so that's a thing.
I thought we were just going to throw you in the trunk. I thought that was part of the deal.
That could be. Yeah. Also, we should start getting Fable Forge episodes up on Penny's YouTube soon. Iron out the last couple wrinkles with that. Players, does anybody have any new announcements since last stream? Give you a chance real quick if there's anything new. Otherwise, we'll jump into D&D.
Not that I can think of.
Once, twice. Sold. All right. So, not going to get too much into this because we had an extensive intro last time, but we are going to come back in here in Adric's Folly, where you all successfully infiltrated by pretending to be captured by Morgan, who has a rapport with the Drow and the Vicmordir mercenaries here in Adric's Folly. You intentionally got yourself captured to sneak in, sprung the prisoners free, kick-started a fight when one of them apparently was a turncoat, and then fought your way out of the ballroom, buying time for the prisoners to run out down the hallway you came in and towards the secret passage in the basement. And then we ended with Morgan and Sofiane slamming the door to the hallway shut in the face of one of these armored drow and this massive, shadowy, ethereal formed spider that was summoned by Thesasta Gulion. Brian and Lorelai, you are somewhere in the vicinity of running through the last two rooms on this first floor to get through the stairs. The bulk of these 50 refugees are in front of you, streaming down the stairs. Seraia already went down. She's down there somewhere up ahead. Everybody's screaming and jostling. Seraia, you in the basement itself, you and only you noticed that as this stream of injured, weak refugees streams past you up ahead, but halfway down the hallway in the basement, you see that they have come to a stop. About at the location of where the secret passage that you infiltrated is located. So, let me turn up the music here.
I will go to whoever I see in the back. What is going on? Why is everyone stopped?
I don't know. I can't see anything. Can you see anything? Move out of the way!
Just hold on. I will turn behind me and grab the drift globe that is still glowing with daylight and tuck it under my shirt to hide its light in as well as I can. And then I will begin trying to make my way through the crowd and just like cringing the entire time, make my way through the crowd to try to see what the holdup is.
Okay, it's going to take you a few seconds to push through this mass of bodies. As you start worming your way through, Lorelai, Brian, you have now made your way to the bottom of the stairs. The rest of the refugees are crammed in this relatively narrow, 10-foot wide basement hallway. Brian and Sofiane, I can't talk right now. Sofiane and Morgan, you have made your way down the hallway and you're in these two rooms, passing through them. You're coming up to the top of the stairwell here, running at you. The door was banging loudly behind you, but then went eerily silent as you exited the hallway and went into these rooms. So, Lorelai, Brian, you see this mass of people stopped ahead of you. You don't see Seraia anywhere in sight because Seraia is a relatively small frame. Whole bunch of bodies. Are y'all doing anything in particular at this scene?
I'm gonna just kind of crawl between legs. Excuse me, sorry. Pardon me. Please move. Since I'm teeny tiny. Just gonna please don't step on me. Please, excuse me, sorry, and just try to make my way as forward as possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing, but instead of going under people's legs, I'm gonna actually try to skirt like around the edge of the group, like up against the wall, and like try to like scoot past that way to get to the front to see what's going on, see if I can maybe spot Seraia in the crowd.
Okay, so you two, since you're wiggling through, I want you both to give me just a general dexterity check to see about what time you come up and catch up to Seraia, if you do at all. Right now, Morgan and Sofiane, you have started coming down the stairs, and you'll be able to see this in a few seconds. About this point, you guys go ahead and give me those dex checks when you got them. About this point, Seraia, you have several head spaces back from the front, and you see standing there next to the secret door, the bulking, hairy figure of Eric Splitaxe, brandishing this wicked-looking, bone-spiked club, kind of holding it across his body, daring someone to step forward. He's looking over the crowd. He is standing there defiantly blocking the passageway. What y'all's dex checks?
13.
9.
Okay.
And remind me what Splitaxe, what his race is.
He is a human. He is a Vic Mordier mercenary.
Damn
He's
it.
the captain.
Is he saying anything?
He seems to be looking. Everybody kind of, it looks like everybody ran up and they didn't know what to make of him, or they thought they would let him pass, and all of a sudden they just kind of slammed on the brakes like a cartoon and started skidding into each other. And now they're bundled up tightly in front of him, and he's standing there essentially blocking the hallway with his presence, looking over the top, searching.
I will turn my back to him and do my best to disguise my voice and just say, "Let us pass! Why are you blocking the way, idiot?"
You hear this shout out, Brian and Lorelai. At this point, Sofiane, Morgan, you come down the stairs. You see this crowd of people. You hear this echo from a decent distance away, but it's still clearly audible. And you hear Eric call back out. Oh, under whose orders? No one's supposed to be leaving.
Can I like start like shoving people's legs out of the way, just like move, get out of the way, move, and just like tripping people up, you know, like ankle chopping them. Get your move.
If you're not trying to be gentle, yeah, you can easily do that. They aren't paying attention to you, so all of a sudden they just lose balance and get shifted to one side or the other.
Yeah, I'm just once I hear this, I'm like, ah, shit. I'm pushing through that crowd, just pushing it.
I will continue with the perfect other voice. On the orders of House Goulian. And the entire time I'm also looking around like, wow, who's speaking? That's crazy.
Who is this? This is a really loud person. Who is?
Yeah.
I take orders from Disaster and Disaster alone. Who is speaking for them? Who do you think you are?
Yes, who is speaking? This is nonsense. This is no way to get what you desire.
Brian, you catch up with Seraia here. Lorelai, you see Seraia doing this. Morgan, Sofiane, you are penetrating the back of the crowd at this point.
Oh, for Sofiane, he's going to jump. Well, first he's going to send his copy forward, jump, and then try to switch places to get to the front.
Sofiane's gonna cannonball.
Okay, you can do this. You would know that this would be highly visible.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not stealthy. I'm like hippie-ki-yay, motherfucker.
All right, so for this, you could get, what's the distance? It's 30 feet.
So I can move him 30. Yeah.
So I'm asking the teleport distance.
Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay, so that'll get you about halfway through this crowd.
Let's see then.
Can I see what's his face's angles, the Vic Mordier?
Ooh, that would be hard. It's really, really confusing down there. Give me a perception check. Let's see.
And for me, I will send it 60 because as long as it doesn't end 30 feet away from me, I'm fine. So it's like pretty much first round 30 feet, and then second round I make it do another 30 feet, and then I switch.
That's a 17 for perception.
Okay. All right. You can see his ankles. Sofiane, if you want to, you can, after Brian is doing whatever they're doing, and I'm going to give Seraia another chance to say something, then you can bamf into place. Morgan, Lorelai, are y'all doing anything?
I just want to push my way closer to the top, but I want to stay like around where Seraia is, like not fully expose myself, and kind of try to hide my face a little bit too.
Okay, Brian would have got there a little before you because he started getting rough and you were kind of worming along the wall, so you're a hair behind, but you can still see Seraia a little bit more of a distance. Morgan?
I want to, like, as soon as I see Eric, I want to, like, change into, like, fully female, like, take off all of my disguise and change my cloak. So, like, I look just like, I don't look like the Morgan he knows anymore, and I just kind of try to, like, blend into the crowd, and I'm trying to find everybody else. Like, I'm trying to, like, lock eyes with everybody else.
Okay, so you would have to start pushing into the crowd. You have to get at least 3/4 of the way to be able to see Eric, even though he's tall. There's a mass of bodies here.
Okay. Well, when I do see him, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so you're gonna keep pushing through the crowd while this is happening. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, Seraia, what are you saying?
I am not saying anything. I get the sense that talking is not going to do anything, but I will slowly just ready a dagger behind my back and have my other hand with the drift globe under my shirt and just be ready as soon as this kicks off to sort of like flash him in the eyes and stab him.
Okay, you got it.
Can I kind of sneakily start making my way in the middle of people and like shh and get my rapier out, and can I try to stealthily stab him out of this crowd and surprise him like in the leg?
Sure, I will give me an advantage stealth check because that'll determine whether you advantage on the attack roll or not if you're unseen.
Okay, stealth.
I'm gonna give him a perception check.
Wow, that was horrible. That's a 10.
That's right. All right, so you want to stab out of him? Roll with advantage because he doesn't see you coming.
Roll attack with advantage?
Yep.
Okay, let me go to my actions.
As soon as Brian does that, I'm gonna do mine.
Yeah, I wanna. Oh, can I? How do I do the thing?
What's that?
Oh, there we go. Attack! That's a 20 to hit.
All right, that's a 20 to hit. So you lash out. Sofiane bamfs in at the same time. Seraia, you start what you're doing. You hear commotion, Morgan. You start pushing hard, so you're gonna get there sooner. Lorelai, you see this. Are you doing anything in quick reaction to this?
I'm just gonna. Can I cast something as soon as I see them trying to cast something at him? Can I see him? Or am I still too far away?
Give me your perception check for you because you're a little bit further away.
Okay.
I do also want to say really quick, once I stab him, I want to just say, go! And try to like start pushing people
Natural
forward.
20.
Hey!
All right, good rolls. So yeah, you can see Eric's split axe, and you see Sofiane bamf out and fall down in amongst the crowd. All right, so roll your damage, Brian. Let me keep this in order here in my head.
Okay. Damage, normal. That's a 4 piercing.
All right, you got it. And Seraia, you were ready, so you go ahead.
Yeah, so I will whip out the drift globe, which is already ignited with daylight, and just try to make him flinch or something, or look away, so I can just stab at him with my dagger. Any sort of.
All right, I'm gonna give him a save here. What is? You know what? Roll a d20.
Okay.
Because there's nothing mechanical tied to this.
Okay.
I mean, he's already pretty surprised. Hey!
Okay. All right, so I will let you roll that with advantage too, because he's temporarily blinded by the flash of light.
All right. Dagger. It only rolled 1. Trying it again.
Go for it.
Much better. 21 to hit.
That's a hit.
That is 1d4 plus 2. That is 5 points of piercing damage. Shink shink.
You got it. All right, so your dagger, are you throwing it or are you stabbing out?
Oh, I thought I was in melee with him. I'm just gonna stab him.
You can.
I'm just gonna stab
him. You have
him.
to rush forward a little bit, but you got it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so you rush forward, toe to toe, slash out, come across his torso. All right, next up would be Sofiane / Lorelai, however y'all want to do this.
Lorelai, go ahead.
Okay, as soon as I see them attacking, I just want to do the infestation thing again. See if I can get them to move a little bit away. Maybe get a little surprised.
Go for it.
All right, that is it needs a con save, DC, I think 13. Yeah.
All right.
Here I am.
See what happens. 17.
Okay. Then he just gets a couple fleas and then they like leave him alone, I guess. Maybe
Even
like
with all
pack
the
them up.
surprises.
Yeah, that's a con save. It's a spell resistance. There's unfortunately nothing there. I'm
That's
giving you
not
advantage
a
on attacks,
attack.
Brian. Jeez. God.
I'm trying to make this the best surprise ever.
Of course, of course. Sofiane, what are you doing?
Grapple!
All right, so you're gonna try and charge forward. Do you have any movement left after this? You're processing this in your mind, so you just be honest and tell me what you got. I'll go with it.
Yeah, so after a switcheroo, I would have 10 feet left.
Okay, sure. That sounds good. So you charge through the feet, you rush up and try to grab onto him. Athletics check from you.
All right, let's do it.
I just imagine Sofiane trying to grab on the leg like a toddler.
He rolled a 22.
Oof. Oof. Oof.
Oh, man, I was so close. Oh, 20 for me. So I'm like
Not
grabbing
quite.
his knees like, come on. God damn it.
All right, so in a flurry of movement, the entire crowd screams out. The rapier slashes out towards his leg. He hops up off balance. Seraia rushes forward, slashes out with the dagger, throwing this daylight drift globe in his face. Lorelai casts infestation. All these fleas appear milling about his head, but he's unperturbed as Sofiane dashes down, comes out, and he grabs you by the face and kind of slams you against the wall out of the way. We're going to say that you can catch up and see him next round just to get you into this, okay, Morgan? All right, everybody roll for initiative.
All right.
Oh, can we
Okay.
not just tell the crowd to trample him?
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to stab it and be like, go!
It's a 9 for Seraia.
19, baby!
16.
All right. So, with this, he kind of heaves back a little bit. You see the blood trickle down his torso by his rib cage, and he starts swatting away, annoyed by these flies. He looks left, he looks right. You again. I should have known. Who do you think you are? Brian, you're up. What are you doing?
I'm Brian, motherfucker! And I'm gonna stab him again.
Go for it.
Stabby, stabby, please. Does a 13 hit?
13 barely hits.
Oh, yes! For piercing. Please and thank you.
You got it. And
then yeah, that, and then I'm just gonna. Can as my movement? Can I try and run underneath his legs and try to get behind him?
So, first of all, yes, you can try that. I was envisioning you essentially prone because you're down by the legs of all these people. You could hop up using half your movement, rush out and try to get past them. If you try to move through a hostile enemy's space, they get a special no-cost reaction to either attack or grab you or block you. Treat it kind of like a grapple check or attack. So it's up to you and them. So you're gonna try and dart past them.
I'm just gonna like just try to book it.
All right. So you go ahead and you give me an acrobatics check.
Done.
And he is going to lash out at you. So let's see.
Do it. Hit me. Dare you. Hit me with your best shot.
Dang, dang.
He swings the club around, you roll past it, slams into the stone ground behind you. 8 doesn't hit, I'm assuming. Dart through his legs, pop up on the other side. So you were about 5 feet away, you were melee range. So 10 to get up, another 10 to get through because it's difficult terrain. So that's how much movement you have left, is 10,
Cool.
I guess. 10,
yeah. No, I just want to stay like right behind him. We're gonna try to go off of last session and see what kind of butt stuff we can pull off. All right, that's my turn.
Is it that type of stream? Should I put on a
It's
different?
spreading.
All right.
I'm just following Sofiane's example.
With this, he turns around and swings the club horizontally at your head again, Brian. The 2 of these. Rapid succession, left, right. The first attack is a 21 to hit.
Ow.
For 6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And the second one is a... Oh, hit the wrong button, my bad. 15 to hit.
Ow.
9 bludgeoning damage. Swings the club, wham, wham, rocks your head left and right. You're ruining everything. We've worked so hard. Give them back. Lorelai, you're up.
How much non-bludgeoning?
It was 6 the first one and then 9 the second one.
Okay, I didn't catch the 9. Boop.
Am I close enough to run up to him?
You can get to him. Yeah, you wouldn't have much movement left though.
Okay, that's fine.
Pushing through the
I'm
crowd.
going to cast Flame Blade again and summon the same. It looks like the same ones. Looks like that lady's scimitar again.
Okay.
Because why not?
Sure.
And then I'm gonna try to hit him with it, but that's a 9, so I don't think that hits.
A 9 does not. You can sense he kind of feels the heat coming and he dodges narrowly, slashing down, cutting a bit of the hide off of his left shoulder pauldron. Fortunately, no.
Okay, hold on. Do I have any bonus actions left?
I don't know. Do you?
Oh, I don't know if I do. I do not. Okay, no, I'm not gonna use it. Okay, that's gonna be it.
All right. So that means Morgan, you're up. So you use the rest of your movement. Now you are within eyesight and you could do something. There's a crowd of people between you and the action, but you can see it and you know what's going on.
Okay, I look around. Are there any doors other than the one he's blocking near us?
Yes, there are. So you would have passed 2 doors to different rooms here in the basement, and then right next to him, and then right next to him, there's a door to the left. Right next to you, there's also a door to the left to the same room. The only way out of the basement that you know of is through the secret passage or back up through the first level. But these are side rooms.
Okay.
Also, we're losing your screen.
God damn it, it's my dog. Sorry. Big fatty. Fat ass. So Claire knocked over my screen.
It's okay.
Thank you.
There we go. Look at that.
Appreciate it.
Teamwork.
Thank you, assistant professional.
So super sorry about that.
You're okay. You're okay.
So,
It's a live stream.
Okay, I definitely don't want to go back up there. I'm very much less afraid of Eric than I am of Fasasta and Mayna. So, there's a shit ton of people in front of me, though, huh?
There is. I mean, if you try to attack, he'd probably have. Oh no, it's just a bunch of people. I'll just give him half cover because he's standing taller than the rest of them. If you want to do a ranged attack, you'd have half cover. Or I mean, you have line of sight for anything else.
Yeah.
And you could use your action to get all the way up to the fight if you wanted to take the dash action.
To dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to just dash up there and get up there as fast as I can.
Okay, so you start barreling through, shoulder down, knock people left and right. They're hitting the walls, and you come up, and you are meleeing in the front. And everybody, as you're running forward, everybody's like creeping back, screaming, shouting, not wanting to go back the way they came, not wanting to get stabbed or shot in the process. There's kind of general commotion going on, but you are now up there in the scrum of it. Anything else right now, or are you good?
No, that's it for me.
All right, Seraia, you're toe to toe. Brian's behind. What do you? Sofiane's over there on the left, kind of recovering from getting slammed to the wall a little bit. What are you doing?
I will pull out my second.
Morgan pops up next to you. Go ahead.
I will pull out my second dagger and stab.
Go for it.
Alright. Number 1. Ooh, 23 to hit for 3 points of piercing. And then bonus action stab again.
Yep.
14 to hit for, without the addition, just 1 point of piercing.
All right, 2 quick strikes, drawing more blood. Nicks on a bear, but you're getting work done. He's not taking a lot of damage, but he's definitely taking damage. He's getting pissed. He's getting a little bloody.
I will just go, this is tiring. These daggers are heavy. And I will try to leave melee range and just try to get a bit further away as far as I can, which I guess would be like 10 feet.
You could either go through his space and around him, or you could kind of back up away towards the crowd.
Back up towards the crowd.
Okay. His turn did pass without a reaction, so he's going to swipe out at you.
Yep.
Especially after you cut him. It's an 18 to hit.
Shield.
Okay. So you see it coming. Arcane shield at the last moment, deflects it, it bounces up, slams on the ceiling, bits of rubble fall down on you as you back away safely. All right. Sofiane, you're up.
I'm just grabbing him. It's like, guys, just go through the fucking door.
He rolled a not great. He rolled a 9.
Ha
13. Yeah. All right. So him being distracted by Seraia, you jump up and pin one of his arms down, and I mean, he can sling it around pretty good, but you're enough of a hindrance that he can't actually move without you allowing him to do so. That was your action. What else you got?
Bonus, summoning my alternate mustachio self.
Pops up next to you.
It's like, yeah, we got you now, Boyle. That's it for me.
All right. Brian, you're back up behind them.
Wonderful. Well, Sofiane's got him a little bit tied down. I think I'll take the opportunity to attempt to vicious mockery him. Based on the last comment he told me about ruining all his hard work, and guess he didn't work hard enough. Worst employee of the year.
That was bad. That was bad, and you should feel bad.
No, he should feel bad because it was so bad.
That's a wisdom save, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. You rolled a 4.
Eat my 1 psychic damage, bitch.
You got it. He looks over you. You can see you got his attention, and his face turns dour and grave, and he's not yelling anymore, but he starts speaking quietly. But it's still your turn. Anything else?
Well, that was my action. I think. So is he? He's not technically grappled, right? He's just.
No, he's technically grappled.
Oh, he is. Cool. Can I attempt to?
Oh, should we have advantage on that?
Not for grapple.
Okay.
Right?
I don't remember.
Not for vicious.
I'm pretty sure grapple is just movement speed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think restrained is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's restrained. Can I use? Would you consider it movement or action if I wanted to try to like push him down or like hold down his leg?
Let's see. So I will allow you another grapple check, and if so, we will convert that to restrained, and then once they're restrained, you can try to take more actions. Kind of, there's no real mechanic behind it, so I just kind of allow people to work together to do these things and increase the efficacy of what's happening.
Okay. What do I roll for grapple?
It's gonna be an athletics check.
Oh, I'm great at those. Oh, yeah, I'm super great at those.
Oh shit!
That's a nat 20 plus 1.
All right, and he's
This is the
going to
third nat
have
20 tonight.
athletics check to rebuff you, and he rolled garbage. So
Boy.
now he is grappled and restrained as you grab the other arm, and it is hard for him to move at all.
Get on our level. Fool.
All right, so double checked it. Grappled is just speed is 0, period.
Got it.
Restrained is speed 0. Attacks against it have advantage. Its attacks have disadvantage, and it has disadvantage on dex saves. Okay.
Got it.
All right. So you have an arm. Sofiane has an arm, and he's like wailing and picking both of you up off your feet as he twists his massive torso. But every time he moves one of you, the other one bears down harder. He can't find any purchase.
Like
Anything
the best,
else?
This is the best carnival ride, and we didn't even have to pay for it.
Is the way still blocked, or is there space for people to start running?
He is standing in the middle of the hallway. So with you guys on either side holding him, there isn't really any space for people to get by unless they're like trickling through really slowly and potentially getting hit in the crossfire. That's why they're like, nope.
Can I use the last bit of my turn to just like yell at people and just like, go run, trample him, we've got him? Like me and Sophie are just like, ah.
You can.
Just
You're not
verbal.
gonna. Yeah, let's give you a persuasion check with disadvantage. See what happens.
But I'm good at persuasion, even with
See,
disadvantage.
it's the only reason I'm letting you do it.
9.
9. Okay, so they start to surge forward a little bit, but then stop and look at each other, and they see rapiers and clubs and this pissed off bear of a man. They're really, really unsure. They don't start moving yet.
Ah! Make this not for naught. Okay, that's my turn.
All right. So with one of you on each side, he is going to try and knock you off. Brian kind of heaves up and slams down, loosening your grip a little bit, trying to smack you with that club. He's going to swing out at you twice with disadvantage.
Do it.
Well, the first time with disadvantage, no, because you're going to keep, unless you go unconscious from a strike, you're going to stay grappled.
No.
Both of those were a 21.
Ow.
Damage from the first roll is a 7. Second roll is an 11.
Ow, I'm out.
No, a second roll to hit is 11.
Oh, second roll to hit is 11. No, that misses.
Okay. So yeah, the first two rolls from the first attack were 21, even with disadvantage. That's what I was saying.
Got it.
So you took 7 damage from the first strike. You dodge out of the way of the second one, and he kind of shoves you up against the wall, then shifts his weight and shoves Sofiane against the wall, all the while like dodging Lorelai and Seraia and Morgan. And he's looking at you because the vicious mockery, he's focused really intently on you. You don't understand. For centuries, they have raped our land. These Klovakians do not deserve this. We deserve it. We deserve to take our land back. You're ruining it.
That sucks.
Lorelai, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna try to hit him with my blade again. I get advantage, right, because he's restrained still?
Correct.
Okay, what is my thing? Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to roll it like this because I can't do advantage with that. Let's see if this... It didn't roll 2. Should I do it again?
No, advantage 24. Unless you, I mean, if you're okay with potentially missing a crit,
I
then
mean,
that's definitely a hit.
okay, I'll just do that. And then it is gonna be... Hold on. Why is this not... There we go. Okay, it's gonna be 3d6 fire damage. So that's gonna be 11 damage. I just want to take the scimitar and just like carve it from like shoulder to hip bone.
It streaks across, and in doing so, you see this hide and fur armor peel away and burns and fall to the ground. And you see all these intricate tribal-looking tattoos and glyphs on his back that you're carving through with this flame sword, leaving singed flesh and cauterized wound all the way down on either side.
Okay, and then I just want to say, what you're doing isn't right. You can't do this to people. And then I want to bonus action healing word Brian. So let me roll your health real quick. 1 second. Let's see. How much do you get back? 6 HP.
Yeah.
All right, now
Nice.
that's gonna be my turn.
All right, Morgan, you're up.
Love that teamwork.
I want to. Do I have enough? Am I close enough so I can run up to him and attack him with my short swords? Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna run up to him and just like aim for his belly.
Oof. Sounds painful.
Nice.
21 to hit for 4 damage.
Don't forget advantage.
Oh,
You're still restrained.
Yes.
well, I'll take that hit. But my second one, I'll roll advantage.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just trying not to rob you guys of potential crits.
I appreciate it. 20 to hit for 8 damage the second time.
All right. So you charge forward, 2 quick short sword strikes to the abdomen. He doubles over, spits out blood on the ground. He looks up at you. He looks really pissed at you because now he knows who you are and that he let you pass, and he is
Does he
reckoning
know
for
who
all
I
of this.
am when I took my male disguise off?
That's a good point. I forgot you were doing that. Give me a second. Let me see if he does that.
I was gonna say, wow, even more
No, he does
validated.
not. He does
First
not.
employee of the year.
He still looks pissed at you, but he doesn't look like he recognizes you. He only rolled a 9. Okay.
Okay.
He's too distracted by the 2 small things on his arms.
Right.
Uh,
All right. That means. Are you done, Morgan?
Yeah, I'm a bonus action Slayer's Prey on him.
You got it.
Yeah, then that's it.
He's starting to look in really rough shape. Seraia, you're up.
Okay, now that I am a bit further away, I will pull out my crossbow and fire at him.
Go for it. With advantage.
Advantage?
Yep.
Alright. 20 total to hit. 6
You got
points of piercing damage.
All right.
And he looks totally fine. Like, does it look like he's struggling at all?
God, my microphone does not want to cooperate. No, he's in bad shape. He has a lot of wounds. He is getting weak. A lot of blood has come out. He's holding on basically by rage.
And it's not going back.
Great. I will simply stay where I am. Load another arrow.
You got it. Sofiane, you're holding one arm. Your Echo is next to you. What you doing?
God, Pathfinder rules get out of my head. I guess I'm just gonna
please.
Stab it. I think if that works.
Yeah, no, it works just fine. Advantage on the attack roll.
All right, cool. Okay, come on. Oh, let's see. There we go. I think it did it.
Yeah, well, you rolled 3 attacks. I'll tell you that much.
I'm level 20, so. So yeah, I'll 24 for the first one.
That's a hit, obviously.
Excellent. 8 damage.
All right, so
Getting that wrist.
you don't even have to roll anything else. You jam into his arm and carve a big gouge out, and then blood just starts pouring onto the ground. You kind of lose grip, and his arm slips out of yours as he jerks it back. Your hand's covered in blood. And he slashes his arm around, blood streaking across the wall. He rips free of Brian and stumbles forward, lashing out wildly at Morgan, and then Brian and you. And he comes down to a knee, and he looks up at you all, breathing heavily, barely holding to life. It's Heartland. And face plants on the ground.
Yeah, I jump onto him. I'm like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And I stab him in
Motionless.
the back of the head, like, shh, shh, shh.
Brian's just like,
Sofiane, enough.
I can make a really good song one day.
Oh, God, it's like,
Sofiane.
God
The crowd is freaking out at what Sofiane's doing right now, by the way.
Okay.
Y'all
Sofiane
fuckers need to go through the door.
Can we just like pick
it's just a
Sofiane up
wall
and just
there.
run?
Yeah,
They
can we
don't
just
see-
take an arm?
Can I like grab Sofiane and just start pulling him and just everybody run?
Wait, loot the body.
Okay,
We're going.
So, okay, so y'all jerk Sofiane off. Y'all yell, "Run!" The secret passage is closed. There's just a wall there. They don't know where this thing is. That's so. I mean, even if they wanted to run, they wouldn't know where. Okay, so Morgan charges forward, pushes the way, and then all of a sudden it's like light bulb, and then a flurry of shouts, and they start shoving you all through. Are you all going into the passage before them, or doing something else? What are y'all doing?
I think
I'll
we're
go
just all
ahead.
sprinting. Yeah, sprinting
I will-
ahead of them.
I will pick up the drift globe from the ground, and I will try to sprint, and then quickly realize that everyone is gaining speed on me. But I will try my best.
Run over the small child. Go.
Is the corridor on the other? I can't remember. Was it lit with torches or was it dark?
No, completely pitch black.
Okay. As we run through, I want to cantrip dancing lights in front of us so we can.
I've
all
got the
see.
drift globe, and
Oh, you do? Is it still lit?
yeah, it's still daylighting it.
Okay. Then we'll just use that because it's got like a 60-foot radius, right?
Yeah, it's pretty expansive.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But that doesn't mean that you see the light starts in the
It's
front of
like-
the group and eventually just start getting further and further back.
All right. So, like a torrent of fear and excitation and anxiety, this mass of bodies ushered by you all, either before or behind, or in Seraia's case, along the way, goes down this secret passage. You close the secret door shut behind you, and you make your way rushing down the quarter mile of this this hidden entrance to Adric's Folly.
Hey, we win.
We should
Why would you
probably
attempt that shit?
we should probably check the entrance to be sure that what's his face didn't put any guards up like above or
Yeah,
something.
I'm running ahead, assumingly pulling Sofiane with me. But I'm running ahead. Sofiane and I are frolicking in front of the crowd with our
In
short
front of the
legs.
class.
Okay. So,
You doing
Russian-
Fortnite
I'll be
dances
there in a
up there.
minute.
it takes you just a couple of minutes, full bore sprint. This herd of footsteps echoing throughout the chamber around you. You can't really hear anything, even if there was something there. It'd be almost impossible to hear between the shouts and the footsteps and the clattering of bodies. But you make your way down through the secret passage. There is nobody there. There's nobody in your way. You make your way to the crypt. A little bit of... This would have been nighttime. A little bit of moonlight beaming down from above into the area with the dead Vic Mortier mercenaries and the former undead, the crypts. And people come into here and they just kind of wall up against inside of... Like people walk into the elevator, don't know what they're doing, surge into this area and start looking around at the walls, not really knowing what to do as you all go in there.
I was gonna say before we have people enter the crypt, I was gonna have to Sofiane try to stop them so that I could climb up the ladder and see if anyone's up on the top.
Sure. So they'll stop there, right, like 10 feet back from the
I'm
crypt
like,
itself.
Sofiane, stop
Sure.
them.
Yeah, I'm just
Sofiane, just little body.
yeah, staring at them with blood all over me, like.
And I'll like kind of quietly go up the ladder and just behind me like shh, and see if there's anybody up at top, like really quietly trying to stay within the shadow of the crypt.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Perception. Click. Ow! 9.
All right. You glance around quickly in the dim moonlight. You don't see any visible movement, any humanoid figures anywhere around. You do hear in the quiet that still cacophony of dead voices kind of whispering and linger in. You also hear a quarter mile away up on the plateau shouts and these strange kind of high-pitched horns echoing throughout the night, and you hear them being matched off in the distance to the west and the east and the north, returning the call. Torches lit up. You see archers moving on the top of the walls there, and the gates open up, and a whole lot of dark figures come careening out of the fortress into the night.
Can I tell if they're coming this way?
You would see him coming out and headed towards the east. You are southeast of it, on top of the plateau, but then they kind of get out of torchlight, and with the angle of the plateau and everything, you can tell it looks like they kind of start to scatter a little bit, but you're not sure where they're going, what they're doing.
Okay. Is there a way to close the hatch from inside the crypt? Like, you said that there's a pulley mechanism, but is that only outside?
You could... You know how to open it from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Stands to reason, this was built as an emergency escape. There should be a way to open and close it from the inside. If so, you hadn't discovered it before now, but you're welcome to look around and find out.
I would like to quickly look for a way to open it and ask Sofiane for help.
Okay, so give me an investigation check with advantage.
When Brian pops back in, I'd like to ask him what he saw up there. And just say, did you see anything interesting? Was there anyone out there? What was her name? Angela?
Alexandra. That's a 20 for me.
Okay, yeah, you do see, scanning around real quick, you don't see anything in the walls. The wall seems solid, even the part that was crumbled down. There's nothing up around the perimeter of the top of the ladder. So you look around, and then you notice that on the crypt nearest to the ladder, there's several swords and shields and things, but one of them is at a slightly different angle. And if you manipulate that, you can get that hatch to swing open and shut above you.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make the hatch shut with the sword, and then kind of motion everyone to move into the crypt, but do it quietly and try to squeeze as many people in here as possible.
Okay.
And then responding to Lorelai, I will tell you what I saw in a minute. For right now, we need to figure out if there's a better way to seal this hatch, because if they know about it, so we need to hide everyone in here for the time being until we figure out a plan. Is there any good way for us to seal it from the inside?
Oh god, I hate this. We should just make a run for it.
I was gonna say, should we just have them like make a break for the woods? Like,
there's too many of them. There were a lot of them that came out of the gates.
But they know that we're here, so we're like trapped in a corner right now. They're gonna come from one direction because, right? I mean, that just makes sense, right?
You're forgetting how dangerous these woods are.
Well, it's better.
We were tasked with bringing these people back to Rebalka.
I mean,
were we not?
do you think that we could like last the night down here until it gets to daylight? Like, do you think that would be possible? Does anyone else? I mean, I assume everyone else in the castle knows that this passageway is here, right?
And even during daylight, they're still gonna fuck us.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I'm thinking is that the drow usually don't come out in the day, right? So maybe they wouldn't
stay up though.
I mean, yeah, they can, but they would be at disadvantage unless I guess they would all have those cloaks then, so they'll still give chase, right?
And the Vic Mordier have no problem in daylight.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
We should just make a run for it. I mean, not everyone will live, but some will, which is better than...
Yeah, at least we're not pinned all in one area.
Certainly we should try to save as many as possible, not just scattershot.
Maybe what we do is we go in groups. Each of us take a group of people over to the
closest
chapel,
woods,
the chapel.
Or the chapel. How did Alexandria get here without being seen? Did she say? Did she just make a break for it? Maybe she knows. Maybe she knows like a way through the woods that's like not as awful.
Well, either way, we should take them in groups and see if we can get people in groups into the chapel. And they started going east as best as I could tell. So they're not completely far away from us. Doesn't mean if we make noise they wouldn't come running this way. We're just got to be really quiet and careful about how we do this. If we want as many people as we want to survive.
I really don't know. I think taking them in groups would be good, but it's just, I mean, it's a group of people who are tired and hungry, and I don't know how quiet they can be.
They're not going to be quiet.
I will take the first group. We just have to reassure them. I'll like start. I'm like on the ladder, like on the little staircase, the little ladder thing, and just be like, we need to take you in groups, but you have to be extremely quiet or we're not taking you. Nod your heads if you understand, to like everybody. I'm not trying to be like intimidating, I'm just trying to be factual.
You see some derivative of
All right, break
come for
up
everybody.
into cliques. Timmel, you're with me as well as all the people who are with me in the prison. If you are above the age of 50, you're with that child over there. That is your point.
I do not think it is wise for us to split all. Should we not pair up
Either way.
so that we can have more than just one person who can fight in each group?
Agreed. But either way, I also think that whatever group I need to go first so that I can warn Alexandra before we get there.
I'll go with you.
Okay. First group, and then we'll just split them up. However they need to be split up, and then we'll just quietly open the hatch and...
If you are taking the front, I will take the rear of our group.
Yeah. I'll just, like, quietly kind of peek out. Can I see, like, the outline of the chapel at the least? Like I can see, like, the building
Yeah,
from where we are?
you can see it, and you know where to
Okay.
look. You can see it pretty fine. If each of you is going to bring a separately equally large, dividing up by 5, estimate about 10 per. If not, then figure like 16-ish per. 15, 16.
What if it was 3 groups? Brian
That's
and
what I was
I.
saying, if it was 3.
Yeah, Brian and I, and Lorelai and Morgan, and then Sofiane can surely handle a group by himself.
It'd be about 16 people per.
Okay,
Me and my
we can do
crew,
that.
we got the 16. We're just
Okay.
going to make a break for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, like, down the ladder, and then I'm gonna, like, kind of crouch and kind of, like, crouch run towards the cathedral.
Naruto run?
If anyone
All
sees
right.
me, I turn into a log, you know. And then 30 feet out, I'm gonna contact telepathy-wise Alexandria. Be like, hey, so we're about to come back to the cathedral with a bunch of people. Please be prepared. Please don't be scared. Please don't make noise. If you could open the door quietly, that would be gratefully appreciated. Wale.
Okay.
Sneak.
All right, that's fine. Remind me just the verbiage of that. You don't need to like see them or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I just need to know that they're over there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So one of you two, because this is Seraia and Brian leading this group, correct?
Yeah.
One of you two roll me a d20 to represent their stealth check. This gaggle.
Me do it?
Yeah, you.
Okay. Is my stealth better?
Just a flat d20 for them.
Stealth. Oh, for the group?
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, that was my stealth.
So
Do
you
want me to
rolled a
just roll
20 for
flat?
you. That's good.
Let
but
me roll
no.
let me roll for the group.
Yeah. Flat stealth. Flat 0.
Flat. Oh, 14.
14.
Okay. Not bad.
Good
Not
group.
bad.
Pets.
They so flanking this group, you kind of usher them over and you call out and you kind of receive this strange uncertain reply. All right. And then as you creep around to the door, you hear the silent and it slowly swings open. 2 very nervous eyes appear about eye level with you, being as shorter as you are, and then it swings open and then one after another they all silently whip inside the cathedral.
I'm gonna file people in, and then once we get to like the tail end where Soraia's, you stay with them, update Alexandra what's going on. I'm gonna go back for the rest.
Right, and I will make sure that this group is protected. Go.
And then I'll
tell Alexandra everything that's going on.
I feel like I should get the advantage on being green with the ground, like camouflage. I am naturally camouflaged.
Any benefit you would get from that is probably nullified by your monster cloak, but sure.
Protective
All
layer.
right, so you run back. Next group comes. Meanwhile, Seraia, Alexandria, you're telling her this, and I was wondering what those sounds were. So you found them in the folly. Was Kevin there? Did you find Kevin?
We are not sure. We did not have time to look through everyone, but the entire group that we found is coming, so please look through them. I cannot say for sure either way.
She starts, like, without you even finishing, she starts going off, Kevin, are you here? Kevin! Whispering very loudly in the chapel, looking around, like, pulling
Be
people's
quiet
heads to
about it,
look at her.
Please, just look before you shout, yes? And I will just, like, position myself by the door, by the window, just to make sure I'm in a space where if people start coming, I can see them.
Okay, and you are half-elven, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Perception check?
Okay.
Brian, you make it back, you open the hatch, look down, say what you say, do what you do.
Next group, let's go.
It's a 20 total for my perception.
Will that be
Lorelai,
Morgan?
Yeah, I'll send Lorelai and Morgan. I'll go up with the last group with Sofiane.
Okay. So
I'm
we'll
like
take our group.
talking up my last group. I'm making sure it's the people that I had like a link with. I'm like, Timmel, you're second in command. My other crew members are like, I have a couple more daggers, so I'm like giving the strongest one daggers. I'm like, look, in order to survive this, we're gonna have to make a beeline through the Nightmare Forest, all right? So fucking get ready.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Morgan, Lorelai, you start making your way. Is there anything you're doing in addition to this, or just going to the chapel?
Just telling them to be as quiet as possible and get to the chapel without dying, I guess.
All right, so give me a flat d20 for their stealth.
Morgan, do you want to roll it?
You can roll it.
Oh god, okay.
I believe in you.
12.
Decent.
Okay. So, Seraia, you hear the door creak open, and then you see Lorelai's face peeking, and then more bodies come in, flanked and followed up by Morgan before the door silently swings shut. You see off in the distance, headed to the west away from you, there is a bright beam of moonlight is coming on a little bit of a hill, and you can't make out perfectly, but it looks to be two of those heavily armored drow spider riders kind of clamber up on top and look left and look right, and then scurry down the hill and dart for the woods in that direction.
Okay, as Lorelai and Morgan's group comes in, I'll just point them out to Lorelai.
Oh.
Okay, they're several hundred feet away. They're a good distance away.
Yeah.
But they're going the opposite direction from us?
They are.
Like, okay.
I'll be peeking as they walk in, and once that group makes it in, I'm like, okay, Sofiane, last group, you ready?
Yeah, and at this point, he's like, the blood that he has, he's like putting like a little upside down cross on everyone's foreheads. Like,
Oh, no.
We're gonna make it, brothers, okay?
All right, let's
Take
go.
the blood of our enemies.
And I will Naruto run, lead the pack.
Come up, follow.
All right, your stealth check that you accidentally rolled before, Brian, since you're leading the pack, what was it?
It was 20.
Okay. So you swing the hatch open one final time, everybody on the ladder below, and you peek your head up and look left, look right, and you start to pull yourself up. But you hear off in the grass near you, 15, 20 feet away, obvious signs of a giant spider creeping across the grass over there. You duck down real quick and you slowly look over, and you see one of those riders scanning across the graveyard, turning left, turning right, and then another one comes up 20 feet a little bit further away, and they look left, look right, and then scamper off towards the east.
Velociraptor's in the kitchen.
What?
Velociraptor's in the kitchen. Don't move.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna like hold my hand out until like shh, like quiet behind me, and I'm just gonna wait a good solid like minute and a half until I absolutely hear nothing and make sure that like I don't see any more movement. I'm even gonna take like, can I like feel for a rock on the grass outside and then like toss it somewhere just to be sure?
You find a rock. Sure. It's actually a little piece of a gravestone.
Cool. I'm gonna chuck it like not in the same direction as the chapel, but like the other way. Maybe like backwards towards the other way from the chapel.
Okay, you got it. You silently hear it off rolling in the grass in the distance. You wait for several long seconds. You don't hear anything.
Okay, I'm gonna go back down a little bit and just be like, okay, I don't know if it's clear, but we have to be really low and really quiet. Do you understand?
I look back at my people. Live or die. Let's do this.
And then I will like slowly like crawl up. I'll do it like on my stomach so that I'm trying not to like be height visual.
Okay.
And just kind of like I'll sit on my stomach and wait with my little feet dangling in the door in the little hatchway and just kind of wait. And then I'll start kind of getting up. I won't go full height. I'll just kind of like crouch. Naruto run.
Okay, give me a perception check before you get up, because you're obviously waiting to see what's going on. Seraia, it's been a while since the last group came in, and Brian and Sofiane and them are nowhere to be found. It's been a minute or two. Should have been there right on their heels.
I don't see anything out the window.
Mm-mm.
That's a 19.
You're checking the window away from the grave, or at least that's where my mind had you going.
Yeah.
Because obviously you know where you're coming from.
Yeah, so in that case, because I've been waiting, I will go to the other side of the building and try to see if I can see out and see if there's any sort of danger over there.
Okay, with your dark vision, you can easily see. By this point, you come over and you see Brian kind of cautiously sitting up on the edge of the grave, looking around before he slowly starts to clamber up, and people start following him out of the crypt.
Taking his sweet time, I see.
Rude. That was a 19 for me for perception.
Okay. You got it. So you scamper across the grass. I need a flat 20 for the refugees.
Do you want to roll it, Sofiane?
Yeah, they're my crew. Let's do this.
Here comes the one.
Oh no, don't say that! Oh no. Oh,
Wow.
followed by a 4, thank God.
Okay. So you make your way all the way up to the chapel. Brian, you're leading the way. Sofiane's there. You open the door. Brian, hurry them all in, looking around. And you go to close the door. And as you go to close the door behind you, you feel resistance pulls against it. And you look up and you see the dark gloved hand attached to the long, dark leather arm. An unfamiliar but very, very drow face standing there behind the door. He must have crept up from behind the wall while everybody was rushing inside and you were looking around. He doesn't seem aggressive. He seems tense, ready. He doesn't seem to be aggressive.
So I'm just like, am I just like holding this door like on his arm?
Well, you went to close it behind you and he grabbed it, and you look around, you saw that, you looked over, you saw him. You caused quite a stir.
You know, actually, I don't think any of us have money. We don't actually really want any baked goods right now. I think we're good.
You want to let me in?
Get why?
Move. And he goes to push past you and come into the chapel. You do anything?
I will, can I try to grab on to the drow's leg and be like, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you.
Do I see this happen?
Yeah, do we see this?
As the point where he starts to come in the door and Brian starts to make noise and stuff, yeah, you can all gain attention of this as Brian's trying to grab on.
Okay.
Sure.
I don't want to attack him.
Because he rolled really good on stealth. He was being very, very quiet and caught Brian by surprise. So, and none of you guys rolled much higher than Brian. So, you give me an athletics check to try and grab him. You roll a check here.
Athletics.
He rolled a 14 to avoid you.
Oh, please be good. Oh, that's a contested 14.
Okay, so skill contest, when they meet, nothing changes. So you aren't able to grab him.
Damn.
So you grab his
I'll
leg.
my drift globe.
You definitely grab his leg. That's fine. You do
But he's
so.
just walking with
and
me
he just
like a
drags
dog.
with you on it. Then all of a sudden, the drift globe. Are you lighting it?
It's still lit.
Okay.
Oh,
It stays lit for an hour.
Okay, so all of a sudden, the entire
Put
chapel.
that the fuck back in your cloak.
Blare of daylight protruding out of the windows, scattering across the landscape.
no.
He puts his arm up real quick. You fool! And then all of a sudden, sorry, stuffs it back down.
Under my shirt, but just sort of hold it like a hooded lantern.
He puts his hands down a bit. What did you do?
I'll just be
She's just
We
a
must
child.
go now.
Forgive her.
Go. We must go. Hurry! And he starts pulling you out of the chapel. You hear horns go off in the distance.
Oh,
All right,
no.
probably
Oh,
man. Oh
yeah,
guys, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Now's the time.
I'm just on this draw's leg, like, okay, everybody, come on, let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, come on. Okay, we don't have to trust him, but we have to trust him for right now. Let's go.
All right, so all the refugees are freaking out, not knowing what's happened. They all get temporarily blinded. They start coming in. They're getting rushed out directly at this strange drow. It looks just like one of the ones that was holding them captive. You are all covered in blood and muck, rushing them out the door into the dark night. They can't see shit of what's going on. And he starts urging you all, pushing you to the woods. That direction now. Go. Hurry.
Everybody hold hands.
All right, I'm like,
So you
my
also-
crew, do not hold hands. Just stay. Diamond formation.
I'm gonna extinguish the drift globe.
Oh no.
Drift globe extinguished.
This one's on me, guys. I'll take that L.
All right, so now you hear the echoing of the horns from throughout the woods, seemingly in front of you, behind you, left to right. You have a good half mile, 3/4 mile of open field to run across to get to the wood line. And you start running across over the hills, down, sticking as much as you can to the relatively tall brush, not enough to hide you as the moonlight glatters across your faces, this strange drow leading the way. Is anybody up there running with him, or is he just charging forward with y'all running behind him?
Yeah.
I'm up
I'll
there
run with him.
Yeah.
I will
Okay.
remind everyone that I am half slowed right now.
Why are
Seraia
you
rapidly is
slowed?
falling behind.
My strength is at 4.
Oh, okay.
I'm with team. We're going to call them Nihama. That is my crew. We're rolling deep on the side.
Who's taking
Okay.
your rear?
All right, so charging across, you start to see coalescing behind you, a little bit from the north, arcing in, then from the south and the west, as you're headed east toward these dark woods, these tall, shadowy forms of spiders crawling over the hills, coalescing 1, 2, 3, like riders coming up behind you. They're still a good distance away. I need an athletics check from all of you to maintain this pace after everything you've been through, and give me one. And also give me one for the refugees.
I will do the refugees. There's a straight D20 for the refugees.
Yep.
That's a 14 for them.
Okay.
15.
And you said athletics, right?
Correct.
Weak. That's a
I have to
17 for me.
Find my
It's a
athletics.
4.
Oh no.
A 4.
Because
Okay.
currently
Where
I have
are my
-3 to
athletics?
So you get
Natural
about
20.
nice. So you get about halfway there. The refugees are actually keeping up pretty good. Maybe it's adrenaline, maybe it's fear, maybe it's hope, but they are charging over these hills, stumbling, getting back up. And all of you, one by one, are keeping up with them except Seraia. increasingly she looks fatigued. Her legs are stumbling. She's off balance. She's having trouble keeping her breath. Is anybody going to do anything, or are you going to let Seraia fall behind?
I'll grab onto her and pull her with me. Just say, like, just for right now, I'm really sorry about this, but we have to go, and I'm just going to, like, wrap my arm, like, through her elbow and pull her.
Okay, so you can either carry her if you're capable of doing that, or this would just give you a chance to re-roll your athletics check, Seraia, if she's helping you.
Yeah, Sofiane will turn and try to carry her.
Well, I'm super light.
Yeah, I'm like...
Is Seraia going to let them carry her?
Currently, yes. Seraia is weak, but not stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sofiane, you're going to go back and carry Seraia?
Yeah, headbutt her and then throw her over. It's like, get up there! Fucking child, where's that orphanage?
Where's that drop box?
All right, and just because this is one of the rare few times it matters in D&D, what is your weight, Seraia, and is that going to encumber you or not, Sofiane?
That's a great question. The weight I am carrying currently...
Body weight plus your equipment.
Yeah, so hold on, let me do some math here.
So I think, was it the bottom underneath inventory shows your
yeah,
weight?
it's that like bar.
Yeah, okay.
I would be 203 pounds.
God, you fatty. Shit. I
will say that that over half of that is just my equipment. I'm only 100 pounds soaking wet.
I was gonna say, how much of that is equipment?
Yeah, 103.5 pounds.
Sofiane hauls Seraia on his shoulder and starts moving, then all of a sudden, shit, and throws the equipment bag down. What are y'all doing with the equipment bag?
I'll pick it up. I can carry it.
Okay. Yeah. So you grab the bag, and all three of you start hightailing to catch up with the rest of the group. All right. Everybody who is running, not you, Seraia, give me another athletics check and one more for the group.
I will do group. Can I also, like, ask him while running? Ooh, the group got an 8. Yeah,
I got an 8 too. God damn it, Seraia.
I got a 15. Can I ask the drow figure while, because I'm trying to keep up with the drow guy. I'm essentially just holding on to whatever, like, cape or cloak or whatever's flowing on behind the wind. Can I just, like, ask him, like, okay, well, we're running. Who are you? Why are you helping us?
Okay.
While we hustling.
You got it. So let me track all these rolls. Form the scene. You can definitely. So you can definitely do that. That's fine.
Do I sound like that?
That's my horrible interpretation of you. All right, so Brian, I see an 8. That's for the group, right?
That's for the group, yes.
Okay, Sofiane, 13. Okay, 16 for Lorelai. Yes. 15 for Brian. 9 for Morgan. Okay. All right, so you continue running towards the wood. Now Sofiane holding Seraia, Lorelai carrying the bag. You catch up to the rest of the group, and you start to see one or two of these villagers start to lag behind. You grab onto them and pull them, but they're either weak or injured, and they continually lag behind. Morgan also starts to lag behind a little bit. You're running. Brian, what are you saying to this? What are you saying to this figure?
I'll probably keep it short because I'm little and running.
Sure.
But I'll just be like, so who are you and why are you helping us?
My name is Terusan. We have a common enemy. That is all you need to know right now.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, you continue running. All right, so Brian, since you rolled for the NPCs, well, let me do something here. I need you to roll 1d4 for me.
1d4. Is this how many people we lose? 2.
And then I need to roll this.
Oh no.
Morgan, what's your AC?
13.
Okay. So, at the cusp of the wood line, this arrow comes in, slams into your calf, Morgan, as you dart across into the shadow, and you turning back for a split second by the tree, you see off in the distance at almost the maximum range of their bows, 4 of these drow riders on top of giant spiders, longbows out in your direction, and in the thin moonlight you see also on the ground behind you 2 refugee bodies face down, arrows in their backs.
Damn it, I knew it. This is too much power for one person.
Do I take any damage?
You do. You take 5 piercing damage.
I'll get that out of Seraia later.
Yeah. Sofiane will toss Seraia to Timmel, like, grab her.
So the rest of y'all were running into the wood line. Morgan's the one who saw this because Morgan's the one who got hit. You rushed into the trees. Therasan darting left and right amongst the shadows, going from copse of trees to boulder, this and that, continually heading you to the east. And every now and then you hear a sound of some large beast or a spider or a horn or something. But on and on and on you travel for 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Sofiane would definitely turn back at the...
That's fine. This is what is going to continue happening. So what would y'all be doing in the meantime?
Running.
Okay.
With them. Trying to, if there's any more villager stragglers, I'd want to try to push them ahead of me and keep them going and just say, come on, just a little bit further. If we can keep going.
Okay. The athletics check brought you up to the point of which I described, and then once you guys are done with whatever you want to do during this segment, we're going to start the next one with another stealth check, because now you're going to be trying to move stealthily. But while you guys are running here at the first cusp of the wood in the shadows, trying to avoid detection instead of outrun it, I know Sofiane was going to do something, but for anybody else as well.
Seraia is just like catatonic.
Okay.
Would I be able to say, like, as soon as we get to the point where we do need to be stealthy, I want to get it out there that I'm going to do pass without a trace once I think that we're at a point where that would be acceptable?
Yeah, that's fine. It's 8:20. We're probably going to kickstart that. We'll come to a close here, break, and get into that. So what are you doing during this brief transition into the wood line? You said you were going to do something, Sofiane.
Yeah, so he's going to toss Seraia over the Timmel. Make sure she gets to an orphanage of some sort. Like,
Pass her off to a stranger.
All right, Sofiane. You can count on me. He starts darting forward.
Timmel, my man. I'm going to tell my crew, keep them watched. And I'm going to go back for those two. Got hit by the arrows.
Okay, so you would have... Morgan would have had to catch up to you at some point. I mean, I'm assuming you're running with the crowd with Seraia, so you probably wouldn't have noticed because they were trail end, unless you were intentionally staying at the ass end. If you want to say that was it, then that's fine. If you tell me that's what you're doing at school, but otherwise you probably wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I guess it's if I see him, because once I get to the tree line, I'm looking backwards to kind of see if there are any stragglers or anything like that.
Okay, well, because of y'all's athletics checks, y'all were mid-range in the column. If you would have sat there and waited for everybody to come through, you would have seen the arrows come in, hit Morgan, and hit those two. Yeah.
All right, then I'll go get them.
Okay. So, are you just going to bull-face defiantly walk out there or try to sneak out? What are you going to do?
I'm not sneaky, so just running.
Okay, so you charge out, the moonlight glinting on your armor, determined look on your face, sweat on your brow, blood on your face from the fights, and you see these spider-riding figures on the hill several hundred feet away. Bows still up, but not aiming at you, just watching. As you run out 10, 20 feet where these bodies are, passing Morgan as she turns in, and you grab them both, you pick them up, you haul them into the tree line. They're heavy. They're motionless.
Yeah, I'll drag them. All right, let's get back.
Okay, you're gonna need somebody to help you carry them if you want to keep up with everybody else, because they're still running.
God, they need to lose weight.
All right, so that's what we will say. As Sofiane, you go back into the deep darkness of these forests. Morgan's leg wounded, everybody tired, Seraia getting bounced around by Timmel, and this strange drow roguish figure leading you into the dark recesses of the wood away from Adric's Folly. That's where we're going to take our break.
Bum, bum, bum.
So let's see, 8:22. I hope you guys are having a great time tonight. That was exciting. Totally different phase coming up.
Made a new
See
friend.
if they survive.
Oh, friend is a strong word.
Maybe a new friend. We'll find
Maybe
out.
Best friend.
Maybe
my
best friend. Maybe
Super best
BBEG.
friend.
Who knows?
Maybe replacing Seraia.
There was a bit there where Seraia was like, if I had more spells left, I would just say, leave me. I'll keep them busy, I'll distract them, I'll give you guys covered, but I do not deserve to be saved this day.
Oh, Seraia, just did your best.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
I
You
don't-
did what you thought was right in the moment.
Yeah, I don't blame my 2-year-old for knocking shit over the dining room table. So I'm not gonna blame Seraia. It's a kid. You know?
You just flash grenaded the whole chapel.
God.
Like a lighthouse.
Holy. They're
We're
like,
here.
where are these escapees? There.
All right,
Oh,
y'all.
drop
We
it in for them.
will. You guys, bio break. Please invite your friends. That would be amazing. Get some snacks, stretch, all that good stuff. We'll see y'all when we get back from break. All right? Don't go anywhere. All right. So, Sofiane, make your way into the heavily wooded dark forest. Those figures standing solitary watch on the hills beyond, gazing at the tree line as you get deeper and deeper in, catching up with the rest of the group, dragging these two refugee bodies with arrows sticking out of them. Eventually, one of them, a burlier man, helps to lighten the load, and you hand the other one off to another one. They seem like they can bear the load as you are kind of quickly jogging through the rugged, dark landscape. Now, this isn't as dark, and you don't get the same sense of malformed foreboding as you did when Naranaeus' shadow was blocking out all light. It is a relatively normal nighttime in the forest, all things considered, as far as your environment is concerned. It is still dark. It is still hazardous, but not nearly as bad as when you were headed towards Adric's Folly. So continuing on, you jog quickly, like I said before the break, going in and out of copses and boulders, following Brian in the front, and Morgan now caught back up to the front with this strange drow figure darting in and out before he finally finds a little bit of a... It's kind of like... So you're at the foothills of the Spears of Arnut, and there's an overcropping of rock, and there's thick bushes and trees around, and he leads you in there. He didn't seem to know where it was. He was just looking around and then found this place. So you don't get the sense he has any of this planned out at all. Over there, and he goes that way. You all follow him, culminate in this area, and sit down. All the refugees breathing heavily, some whimpering, some crying, some staring off, as you all have a moment of respite to collect yourselves and form your next plan.
I'm going to growl at Seraia and be like, what the fuck was that, dude?
Don't.
That's what you should have done earlier. Now look at the predicament we're in.
That's exactly how Seraia feels.
I will stand up and get in Morgan's face. Do not test me today.
You better step back. I will slap a child.
Try it.
I will slap him. Her.
Your baby heard you say you're gonna slap her. That's all I'm saying.
That was a threat.
Yeah, just a win for Seraia. What?
While they're having their predicament conversation, can I just talk to the drow guy and be like, okay, are we going anywhere particular? Or do you have a plan of where to take us? Like, what are our options here?
You see he's wiping sweat from his face, rather annoyed. Like he takes a small kerchief and wipes it off, and then just like disgusted looks at it again and wipes another one and looks at you. No, I have no plan. Well, I did have a plan, but then the plan went to shit, and so now we have this plan, but I don't know what this plan is.
Okay, what was the original plan?
Well, I was going to help you escape quietly.
Got it, so that one's out the window.
Why are you helping us escape again?
We have a common enemy. We'll talk about it later when we're actually safe.
But who is this common enemy?
Asculian.
Okay. Do I remember who they are?
Not the name Seraia yelled out.
Yeah, that's the name
It
Seraia yelled out.
I wrote it down.
I mean, so obviously y'all heard it somewhere.
Yeah.
How much DM interference do you want here for character knowledge?
Hold on, let me see if I have it in my notes.
As a history buff, would Brian remember House Goulian in
More
past
importantly,
conversation?
is Morgan slapping Seraia?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Play grown-up games, get grown-up prizes.
So as you're talking to this individual, you just hear from somewhere nearby.
Doesn't he have to see if she hits?
No.
Alright, fine. I Chaos Bolt back.
Oh no.
More problems.
I mean,
About to beat up on a child.
I didn't want to upset the baby. So now we're chaos bolting. That's what we're
It's
doing.
a 13 to hit.
Ooh.
My AC is a 13.
So that hits. So that is... Oh no. I rolled doubles on the 8s.
Oh no.
We're
So,
gonna run,
first
we're
of
gonna run
all-
with it now.
Yeah, so first of all, Morgan, you take 17 points of psychic damage, and then it'll jump to the next person next to you.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
I'm down.
all right. So, what type of damage is it?
Psychic.
Okay. So this blinding yellowish light flashes quickly, and you hear Morgan cry out for a moment before it's cut off quickly, and then she crumbles to the ground. Now, this is a player question for your character.
I have previously made the decision that if it ever has the opportunity to jump, it jumps.
Fair. My question for you as a player is, on a scale of 1 to 10, because I know Seraia's relationship with magic, how impactful do you want this to be?
Fully.
Okay. As soon as Morgan hits the deck, you hear another cry out from right nearby. You see Alexandria start wailing. No! No! Calvin, what's wrong? Calvin, wake up! And you see her bent over this male dwarf with a bushy beard, eyes open, staring directly into the moonlit sky, motionless.
I will whip around to Seraia and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing?" And I'll go over to Kevin and Morgan and see if I can cure wounds. Kevin, see if that will help. Use my last spell slot.
How much damage jumped?
I have to make a whole other attack roll and see.
Okay, go for it.
Well, technically, I don't know if it hits. It was an 8.
Okay.
Doesn't it? Oh, okay.
Does a jump technically automatically hit?
Make a new attack roll against the new target. Make a new damage roll.
I had interpreted automatic. We're gonna run with that regardless now, but
Okay.
double check.
So if you want the damage, that is 12 points of acid. Oh God.
Lorelai, you go over there and you kneel down quickly, and you see Alexandria kneeling over Kevin, and as your eyes kind of adjust to this new scene in game perspective, you see beneath this cloth tunic slight movement in his torso. Pulling it away quickly, you see his skin is kind of bubbling and peeling away from his rib cage.
Is he breathing at all? Can I tell any other chest movements?
There's nothing obvious.
Nothing obvious. Okay, I'm still gonna try to cure wounds him.
Okay.
It seems like your
4
power
HP.
only comes out when it's against people trying to help.
Okay. I want you to also give me a medicine check, Lorelai. Go ahead, Seraia.
Medicine. Okay.
Seraia is just gonna storm off into the woods.
I was gonna say before anything else happens, I was gonna go and try to grab Seraia, but I will run
That's a
after
5.
Seraia.
I'm not going far. I'm going just like maybe 50 feet away and just finding a tree to go up against and just like weep.
Okay. So Seraia darts off frustrated. Brian starts to move in that direction. Lorelai, you call forth healing energy. You focus, but it's just as ineffective as with that baby bear not too long ago. Now you notice Morgan is also unconscious on the ground next to you.
Okay, what do I have left? Okay, I have one more. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go over to her and put my hand like on her shoulder and cure wounds.
Okay.
Okay, that's better. 13. Did my last level 2 spell slot.
So you see Morgan's eyes start kind of blink rapidly and then stay open for a second, staring, and then dart left, dart right as you come back to consciousness, Morgan.
I'm gonna ask what happened. Do I remember anything of the psychic damage or no?
It was this intense racking pain, like the worst hangover you've ever experienced, and then everything spun rapidly. You got really confused, and then blackness. You were staring at Seraia the whole time. That's all you know.
By Seraia.
I know it came from her.
It's reasonable to assume, yeah.
Cool.
She did the same thing to me. She only has this amazing power when it's with her friends or people trying to help her. When it comes to battle, she's always like tripping.
Yeah.
Damn.
As what I would expect from a child.
You know, you gotta grow.
Yeah.
Would I know whether or not I do have one potion of greater healing left? Would I know whether or not that would help Kevin at all? Or is it just like dead? Would I know at all?
Between the spell and that, and also to partially make up for a DM mistake and how the spell works, if you want to burn that as well, I will say you can restore him to life.
Okay, I'll burn that.
Okay. So you pour it down and slowly, he doesn't come to consciousness, but you can see his skin start to mend, and just as it starts to close around his rib cage, you see that still wounded heart seal up, and doo-doo, doo-doo, the skin heals up. And Alexandria just bends over and starts sobbing into his chest.
I'll just say I'm so sorry that happened. And then I'll just walk away, let her go through her emotions.
As you turn to walk away, you climb up and walk over to the side. You see this drow figure walk past you in her direction and look down upon her and him, and then slowly kneel down and put his hands on his thighs and lean over a little bit, and then slowly place his hand on her back in a comforting fashion.
Okay.
The scene is yours.
So,
No, not.
what are we doing now?
I'm running. I'm walking. I'm quickly walking after Seraia.
I'm gonna check on Morgan and be sure that she's okay after I revived her. Be sure there's nothing else that happened that Lorelai would be able to see, but I know there's probably not, but just checking to be sure.
Yeah, you guys hash it out. However y'all want to.
Okay. I just walk up to Morgan and say, "Are you okay? I'm sorry. I had to just do it real fast and then go be sure I could get him up too. Are you okay? Do you need anything else that I can do for you? I don't really know what to say."
No, I'm good, thanks. I do appreciate it, but I'm good.
Okay. I don't. I'm gonna say it quietly. I don't know what's gotten into Seraia, but I am so sorry she attacked you like that. I mean, I'm sorry on her behalf, I guess.
It's all right. And then I want to study the drow. Do I recognize him at all?
Yeah, I'd like to do the same thing too once we stop talking, see if I recognize anything he's wearing or if he just matches the clothes from the other drow in the castle.
Okay. You give me a history check, Lorelai. For you, Morgan, after your senses kind of come back to full faculty, and you catch a decent look at his face behind the hood when the moonlight turns and you can see everything more clearly. You do recognize him. This was the same roguish drow outrider type figure that you were able to pry that little bit of information about the moon shard having been whisked away several days ago. At the time, he appeared a little inebriated, a little loose, flirtatious, like he was trying to give you information to earn your favor. But considering the way he's been carrying himself and talking and what he's saying his motivations are, you're starting to think that maybe you were getting played. Not necessarily in a bad way, but maybe he was putting on an act to give you information.
Oh, okay.
I got a 10. Oh,
Sorry. No, you're good.
I got a 10. That's all I was gonna say.
Okay. There's something familiar about the cut of his mantle, where his hood comes down to his cape. You didn't travel much in the more populated areas of Drow society with the way that your group of people chose to live and what you chose to believe. It wasn't exactly popular, for lack of a better term. But every now and then you would come across different groups of travelers or travel to different enclaves for supplies and things like that. The point being that this individual, the way that this cape is cut, is something familiar about nobility of some type.
Okay. I don't like that.
Let's pause there. Brian, you were going to go catch up to Seraia, or no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was eventful.
Seraia just wipes her eye. You all should leave me here. Just go. Save the people.
Why exactly would we do that?
Because I'm not good at this. I'm not good. Period.
What makes you say that exactly?
Because I hurt the people who are close to me, and I barely do anything to my enemies. There is darkness inside of me that I have no control over, and it only gets stronger.
I mean, if we're going to speak technically, there's darkness inside all of us. I literally bleed black.
I told you about the boy I once knew, Avan, who gave me those gloves. Well, whose clothing I made the gloves out of. He did not just die. I killed him and all of his friends.
Was it on purpose?
No. But it was me. Just like it was me who hurt Morgan back there, just like it was me who hurt Sofiane back at the giving tree. It's all me. And I try to push it down, push it away. I try to be a better person, but the darkness is me. And maybe I am irredeemable, so go and be the heroes that you are all destined to be. Clearly that is not my lot in life. And perhaps I was foolish to think it was.
I'm gonna sit down, not next to Seraia, but like with the reasonable distance of being close to Seraia, and I'm gonna like grab a stick and start drawing on the dirt in front of me and Seraia. My father used to tell me the story about a hero who didn't think he was a hero, and just kind of like sketching out all the things that I remember from the pictures of this book, like the character and like the dark faces and like all of the sketches that I remember in the dirt. And he went through this entire incredible story, and the first few times that he told me this, I couldn't understand why it was a part of some of the books that he read to me, because he didn't seem like a very good person. He didn't seem like the good guy, and all of the other books that he read to me or gave to me to read were all about heroes and adventurers. And it wasn't until one day I got mad at my mom for not letting me go outside. I didn't understand why I couldn't and play with other kids and live normally. I got mad at her and I broke some of her special relics. And so my father told me that story again. And I couldn't quite understand why he was telling me, but after he read it, he explained to me that all heroes don't start out as heroes. They have to grow into them. And not all villains are villains. It's not about necessarily what happens and what you do, but it's about how you react to them. And villains turn into villains that we know because they let fear and anger rule their lives. And heroes become heroes because they don't. Now, this book didn't necessarily have a good happy ending, but the lesson that it taught me was that it's okay to be scared or angry or, if anything, maybe too powerful at times. It's what you do about it. It's how you handle it. It is how you react to it afterwards that makes you who you are. Don't let things that have happened, even with how treacherous they could be, control who you want to become, who you could become. With this much power that you have, you're run by fear because of this thing that happened. And yes, it's devastatingly terrible, but it could also be remarkably powerful if you try to look at it in a different way.
Whatever it is I do, something needs to change. I feel like most days I am a hindrance to our party. I spend half of my time on the floor unconscious, and the other half I spent hurting my friends, so I take your words seriously. But something needs to change. I need to change. Focus on something different skills. The magic that I can do, I don't know why I am able to do it, but I know that I only lose control when I use it. So perhaps I should focus on not using it, on being as non-magical as I can be, while still being useful.
Well, that's one route to take it. I feel like with the amount of power that you have, there's no way to get around it. your powers are definitely influenced by emotion. Maybe we just focus on trying to find a way that you can trigger emotions towards people we don't like. But
That would be nice.
and I'll stand up and kind of brush myself off. It's up to you. But as your friends, which I think we all are, we want to help. We want to help you be good.
I'll look at his hand and say, I hope you know that when I don't want to be close to you all, it is not a matter of... I'm not afraid of touch. When Avan and his friends, when we encountered danger, they sought to protect me. They were far more experienced than I, and so they surrounded me, guarded me with their bodies. And then when I tried to help, I blew up. And they would have been fine if they were just a bit further away.
Well, I think out of everybody, we understand that now. But with that knowledge, let's find a way to make it work.
I'm just going to take a few more minutes, but let me know when everyone starts moving.
All right. And then
Thank you.
put my hand away and with the stick, I'll pick up the stick and draw a little happy face, drop the stick, and then start walking back to the party. Before I completely start walking back, I'll kind of stop. I don't think you're evil. I just think you need the right kind of support. And then walk away.
All right. So, while Brian and Seraia were talking, Sofiane, I know you said, what are we doing next? So, just cutting back to you three with the rest of the group. Were y'all doing anything during this kind of semi-extended exchange between your two friends?
This is just awkward, so Sofiane's gonna kind of sit there like, oh, God.
Morgan's gonna pull her ledger out of her bag and just make like a little notation in it, and then just like sit up against the wall on the floor and pull her hat low over her eyes and just, for all intents and purposes, look like she's sleeping.
Okay.
Sleeping on the job, eh?
But I'm actually looking at the drow, watching him. But
Okay. Lorelai, you doing anything else?
I actually wanted to sit and pull my little tiara headpiece thing off and just twist it back and forth in my hands and just stare at the drow, like not even trying to hide that I'm just blatantly like eyeing them up and down. And Lorelai's feeling a little bit nervous that they're here. And so she just twists her headpiece and stares.
So after a little bit of Sofiane standing there absorbing the awkwardness, and Morgan kind of covertly watching things and making little annotations, and then Lorelai twisting nervously, Therason looks up and sees you, Lorelai, and glances over around, stands up and waves you over. Sofiane gets your attention, waves you over, expecting you to come to him. Obviously, you can or not, it's up to you.
I'll go over.
Sofiane's not. Okay.
Oh no, I'm going over. I'm just
okay.
tentatively
Well, it appears we're in a little bit of a situation. Ausculian has forces all throughout this region, not just at the Folly. That much is to be sure. Now, how much they can rally in short notice, how well they can track effectively with large numbers, that is an unknown. Despite my time with them, I could not ascertain such things. I know that we need somewhere safe to be. I know that we need to either hide long enough for them to lose interest, which I hate to say, I don't believe they will do. Or we find somewhere to fight them off. Send them back where they came from. Preferably in worse shape than once they came. I believe those two, nodding to Alexandria and Cavan on the ground. I believe they came here from their home. Quite a few miles east of here, but it is one of the more notable structures that I remember being here in the wood. Not a mere hovel. It has walls, it's sizable, and we could defend it and set a trap if we can get there, and if we can keep them from being recaptured, he says as he looks around to all the refugees on the ground. I don't know if you have any other plans, or perhaps your friends will when they rejoin us, but I can think of no better way to proceed.
We could go to the tree, and I'll look at Sofiane.
what that.
The tree, the big tree.
Are you talking about dying again?
No, but it was a safe place in the woods. It was powerful.
I don't know. If it's druid tree shit, I have no faith in it whatsoever. I totally believe that as society continues on and the environment will just become worse and worse. So,
you are close with nature, yes?
Yes.
She gets down with nature. It's weird.
So let us play this out then. I believe I know of which tree you speak of. It's several days' journey south of here along the road. This ancient tree, Father. If we were to go there, and it will offer us aid, and we were to fail, then not only would we die and the refugees be recaptured and brought to the sacrifice, but they would most likely also tear down the tree and burn everything around it. If we go to their home and we fail, there's less losses overall. Besides, walls are always good for defending, and although I like the idea of the forest coming to aid us, the forest can also be manipulated by magic much easier than walls.
That's a fair point. I would not like to see the tree torn down after everything that it's been through already.
I'm ambivalent.
I think that the structure with walls, whatever it is, if it's just a house, I don't know if it's any bigger than a house, would probably be our best bet. But I don't know what would await us there.
Well, it is something to consider, and I imagine you would have to talk to your friends. If we do not go this way, then perhaps you can offer a suitable alternative, and if so, then I would be happy to travel with you and seek my own ends. But regardless, if you do wish to travel to their home, especially given the recent events, and emotions down towards Cavan, I think we may want to ask their permission as well. Either way, I will go and tend to the sick as best I can while you discuss this with your friends. And with that, he turns and just starts kind of going around and checking on him. He doesn't seem to have a medicine kit or any healing magic, but he's just kind of being helpful and comforting them and talking to them a little bit.
Well, I mean, I'm a fan of just like guerrilla tactics and buying them enough time to get home.
I mean, we could do that. If we go to this house, we could set up there and then fend them off while they leave in a different direction, if that would be a thing that we could do.
We could, right? You're good with nature. I've heard that somewhere around here.
I do my best.
Yeah, sometimes. Let's not get overboard here. But what if we lead them to those freaking big trolls with the badass axe? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? You're good with tracks and everything. Maybe you can make it seem like the group moved in that direction.
I mean, I don't know if I'm that good with making tracks and stuff, but
Your whole thing is nature.
I mean,
There's
we can
the
try.
bear when you need him.
I mean, that's definitely a good idea, though. If we could lead these people to the axe, the big giants.
Mm-hmm. And if, it happens that we get the axe too, like that's a bonus.
All right, so okay? Let's worry about the villagers first, and then we'll go back for your axe.
Let's battle it out.
The only thing I'm worried about is are we trying to lead the enemies there? Like,
yes.
Okay. Maybe could we do a bait and switch while we're here? Do you think that they would track us here? Could we leave a crude map in the dirt pointing to that location and go a different way?
Yeah, I mean, I think let's assume that they can track us here. We'll start moving when we get close to the point where the trolls are, or giants, or whatever fuck ugly things they were. You can do your no one can see my feet spell, which is a very weird spell, if I might add. And you guys go down a different direction. And you and me and the others can move forward, making tracks of the people forward into the giants and into the giant keep.
Okay.
And then we get the Fuggles out of there.
I mean, that could definitely be a plan. I guess Alexandria, if we got her permission, would be able to lead the villagers there. We might need the Drow's help just in case we do get ambushed on our way. But I could definitely cover their tracks while they go. Let's talk to the others about it first and see what they think.
Yeah. How do we? I mean, Morgan, I'd love her. She's a very attractive person for several reasons. One of them being that she could stab me in the back at any point in time.
Yes.
And I think, feel more attracted to her as a byproduct. But I feel like Seraia is at a very tenuous stage of her puberty. That's kind of don't tell Seraia this, all right? This is a secret between you and me, and I'm looking around. All right, you ready to hear this, Lorelai?
Yes.
And by the fucking earth heart, whatever you worship, you little hippie, you better not tell anyone else. I will stab you in the middle of the night. Not really, but I hope you think about it. I think Seraia's heroism, and Sammy, get off the call. Get off the call. Just get out.
Headphones out.
But I think Seraia's, I think she's right. I hate her for it, and I want to put her in a kid's home or something. Maybe I don't know, some kid labor camp. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think she has the right of it, and I think we need more people like that. I don't want this experience to become the reason that she becomes jaded like some of us. I don't think you're jaded, Lorelai. You worship trees. I don't think a tree person can become jaded. But I don't want her to end up like the rest of us, okay? Like, yeah.
I mean, I agree. I mean, the past couple days have been super hard, but I feel like they've hit Seraia like the hardest out of all of us.
It's like there's some like mythical divine like destiny thing that's interweaving to make Seraia like not a hero. It's some shittiness.
Yeah.
But how do I encourage her to go back on her path? Because I don't know, when it comes to like inspirational, like you can do it sort of things. And I swear to God, if you tell anyone about this,
I won't tell anyone.
okay, I will be watching you from here on out.
Okay. I think I guess maybe just encourage her more when she does stuff that's out of her comfort zone, because I know she doesn't seem to like using her magic, but she's really great at it. Like from what I can tell, she's super strong, but I feel like she just feels like ashamed or something whenever she uses it. So maybe if we make her feel better about what she does. I mean, stuff like what happened earlier with Morgan is not it. It's not okay. But I mean, if she she puts herself in the face of danger so much. I'm really glad you came back for us earlier in the castle too. I wanted to thank you for that, because I hated seeing her go down constantly. Like,
oh no, that was my bad. I was trying to leave, and so I went through a door, and I just ended up back where you guys were. That was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. All right, I'm going to go talk to Seraia.
Okay. I think Brian went out there with her too, so maybe bring Brian in with you if you come back in.
Oh yeah, I gotta tell him about the suicide mission. All right, cool.
Oh, do you want me to come with you and try to explain what we're gonna do?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay,
yeah, let's just go together.
Okay.
At this point, would I be walking back already?
That's what y'all want to happen. That's fine. Morgan, are you doing anything while everybody's off talking, still taking notes, or?
Morgan, let's roll deep. Let's do this.
I want to go talk to the drow.
Okay. Well, let's cut over to Morgan for a little bit. So, you see the drow walking around doing all these things. You decide, now that he's sufficiently away from the rest of your group, you can pull his attention, so you get up. What do you do?
I'm going to approach him and ask him what his plan is from here.
Morgan, is it? Well, Morgan, my plan is to do whatever I can to subvert the power of House Gullion, to save Holath and House Fresian.
But you don't really care about anything with these prisoners, do you?
Oh, I care about them as one does any intelligent life. But I have no special attachment to them, if that's what you are asking, no. Do you?
So, no. Are you planning... I think that the other people, the other guys, are planning to take them somewhere safe. Maybe many miles. Are you going to go with them?
If I can keep these refugees away from House Gullion, yes. If I can exert the tiniest bit of influence upon their plans, and perhaps make some new acquaintances along the way that have their own skills and abilities, I believe that suits my purposes just fine.
And what are your purposes?
As I said, the destruction of House Gullion, to save the city of Holath and restore House Fresian.
Do you really think this batch of prisoners is going to make a great impact for that?
No, but I also believe that you do what you can when you can, and eventually it'll all add up, or you will be able to do more. Do you just throw up your hands in the face of adversity?
No.
If you had to kill 10 people, and you couldn't kill them all at once, would you just walk away? Or would you kill them one at a time?
I would take into consideration what would make the biggest impact the quickest.
And so here I am.
But you've already admitted you don't think this batch of prisoners would make that much of an impact.
I believe it is the biggest impact I can make with my 2 hands and my 2 feet.
Do you think having possession of the moon shard would make a bigger impact?
That is a question, isn't it?
It is.
I have to be honest, Morgan. I cannot answer in all honesty because I do not know exactly what this moon shard is capable of or why House Gullion wants it so dearly.
But we do know that they want it dearly.
That we do. And
So
it
we
cannot
can-
be good.
We can assume that it would make a pretty important impact. They can always get more prisoners. These specific people don't mean anything. They can always find more people.
This
But
is
as
true.
far as we're aware, there is only one moon shard.
This is true. I agree with you, but I believe maybe I'm looking at it a little bit differently, and perhaps that's because of how ingrained I am in Drow culture. If we deny them these prisoners, not only do they lose a moral battle with some rabble from the surface world, which will put an eye in the matron, but Thesasta and Mena will be ruined, as will everyone that they sent along. They will have to rethink everything. They do not rest on their laurels when they do not get their way. And when things change, when cracks open, that is when the water seeps in. And I plan on being the water.
So you think after several successful caravans of prisoners into the Underdark, this one not making it will embarrass them enough to completely ruin Mena and Thesasta?
Yes. Nor have you never known someone to be completely merciless and demanding of perfection.
And how will you know when these cracks start appearing?
Well, I will be there in Holath. But that is another day. That is putting the cart before the horse.
So you plan to go to Holoth after you help rescue these prisoners and deliver them to safety?
I believe this will kickstart a chain of events. I do plan on heading back underground after this is hopefully resolved successfully, as there is more stirring beneath our feet. Some within this very group know of what I speak, and they could also use your help, which means they could also use my help. But again, that is putting the cart before the horse. If we do not save them, none of it matters.
So some in this group do hold value then, as more than just bodies.
Yes. Judging by your character, the way you carry yourself, the way you think and speak, I believe you are aware of the value of information, contacts, having people to introduce you and trust you. These things can be more valuable than any relic, given the right circumstances.
And you're saying some of these prisoners can do that?
I'm saying every job has a tool, and sometimes the tool doesn't even know its own purpose.
I see. Well, looks like we're gonna rescue these people then.
That is good. It's good for me. It's good for you. It's good for everyone living on this surface, and everyone living beneath our feet. I will explain more in time, but I do feel that we've tarried for far too long.
Yeah, I agree. I'll just, get my bag and get ready to go.
He nods his head, and turns and goes talk to some more prisoners, just chit-chat. Well, refugees now. Hopefully they're not prisoners anymore. I don't know what plans y'all have for them. Okay, so Morgan had that conversation. Lorelai, Sofiane, you catch up with Brian as he's walking away from Seraia. He's walking away from Seraia. All three of you are now a decent distance where if you were to talk low enough, you're out of earshot of the group of refugees and everybody else. Seraia is still a little bit further distance away as y'all caught up with Brian as he was walking back in your direction.
I'm going up to that Seraia.
Yeah.
No, please don't. Just give her a minute. She'll come back.
Well, no, we have a plan, sort of.
Let's talk about the plan here, and we'll catch her up when she comes back. She needs a minute.
All right.
Trust me.
Respect the distance. All right. So you remember that axe? It turns out it's the answer to all of our problems.
How is the axe an answer to all of
Well,
our problems?
Sofiane had the idea that we could potentially take the prisoners. Okay, so to start with, Alexandria has apparently a house. The drow was saying that they have a house somewhere that we could potentially hide the prisoners in and set up like a trap, sort of. And we had the potential idea that we could lead the prisoners that direction, and then if we end up going by the giant temple, we could make it look like the prisoners went in that direction and into the temple, but instead they went a different direction. See if we can do like a bait and switch. But I don't even know if the giant temple is in the same direction as the house.
It wouldn't be, because it would be going back the way that we came. And, well, I guess I wouldn't know where the house was. Well, what did they say that Alexandria's house is?
Well, we didn't really ask if we could even use it yet. But that's what the drow said. The drow said that they have one that we could ask about.
Okay.
But I also can do my spell where I can hide people's footsteps, but I have to be within 30 feet of them for it to keep working, which is another kind of wrench in that plan that I just thought of.
I feel like we should just all go together and defend the refugees. I don't know that the axe is necessarily the answer. Not that it's not a great idea, Sofiane. I actually really like it.
Well, let's do it. All right, we're in.
No. The idea behind it is we're supposed to protect the refugees, and if there's no one here to protect and get the refugees safe, not only that, but then we have to go all the way back to go get them, even after the first giants would take over and hopefully kill some of them. There would have to be time to go back, because that was a bit of a travel from that point to where we are now.
Yeah, so I mean, we might as well just go to the house if Alexandria will give us our permission. I can go ask her and see.
Yeah, I say we guard and go with the refugees and wait until something else progresses. At least get them all safe, and then come up with another plan. If we want to lure them, we could do that, but at least get them all safe. That was kind of the point of most of this.
Yeah, I mean, we did also have the option of going back to the tree, but I wouldn't want to risk the drow getting their hands on it if we happen to fall there.
Yeah. I would say let's go and ask, and go from there. But I say we stick with the refugees and get them at least safe somewhere.
Okay.
Because we can't bring them back and then Sofiane get his house if we don't have any refugees alive.
Okay. I'll go back in close to Alexandria and kneel down next to her and just see what she says, I guess.
Okay. Well, she's no longer crying. Her head is kind of resting on Cav, and he seems to be sleeping or kind of in and out of consciousness. But he seems to be stable. She sees you coming and she looks at you. Her head's resting on his shoulder, her arms kind of over his torso a little bit, and she's looking up at you as you approach. And she's tracking you, she's watching you, but she's not really moving.
Okay. I'll go kneel next to her and just quietly say, How is he? Is he okay?
Seems as good as he can be. As best I can tell. Thanks to you.
Oh, it was really no problem at all. I had something we wanted to talk to you about, if you're open to it.
Aye?
The drow mentioned that you have like a house in the forest somewhere. Is that correct?
Aye, we have a family estate. That's where we live.
Okay. Well, our whole point of escaping with these prisoners was that we were trying to get them safe and get them back to their city, but as of right now, that doesn't seem to be something we can necessarily do because it's so far away. But we had the idea to potentially, if you would allow it, take them to your estate and I guess guard the walls, bolster them a little, and potentially try to set a trap or try to filter the refugees out while we hold whatever may come at bay. But we don't really have any other option for keeping them safe unless you would potentially know of anywhere else in the woods that would be a better option.
No. I suppose I really don't. Although, truth be told, the idea of losing me home, if things don't go well, I suppose if things don't go well, me home will be the least of me worries. And you trust this drow figure?
I don't trust him with my entire being, but as of right now, we have a common goal or a common enemy, and I trust him as much as I could in this situation. There's no telling what he would do after this moment, but I guess we'll just get to that when we get to that. There's really nothing else we can do right now.
Alright, but I have two conditions.
Okay.
Number one, if Cavan comes to harm because we trusted him, and you're putting your neck out for him, then his neck won't be the only one I come after.
Okay.
And number two, you keep that bloody witch away from me and Cavan.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
My homestead's about 40 miles east of here. The fastest way is by road. It'll take about 3 days, given everybody's condition. Take longer if you go through the forest. I don't know which way is safer, or if it's better to be fast. I don't know if they'll track us easier one way or another. I don't have any special way to hide with these many people. I don't know anything.
Well, I have a way to to get us there without being tracked, hopefully.
Question for the DM. How many days would it be to go back to where the Frost Giant's grave is, the tomb?
So here's the thing, and I'm glad you asked that question. Now that you're considering this, I want you to give me an insight check.
Insight. All of us or just me?
Well, as far as I know, you're the only one considering this specific thing, the passage of time with where you've been.
Insight. Oh!
Oh,
Ooh. Can
Okay,
I use
so-
my real life insight instead of my roll?
You can, but I don't think it'll be as useful as you think it is. It's not what I meant.
Wow, 4 points of psychic damage. Ow.
It's super effective. So here's the thing. Since Nereneus' shadow has lifted, you've traveled to the chapel, you traveled underground a bit, you traveled out, and so on. It's hard to describe, especially with your insight roll. But long story short, it really seems as though the effect of the Darkwood wasn't just causing things like temporary insanity of making you doubt yourself. Nereneus' shadow wasn't just messing with the beasts of the region and all, etc., etc. But I mean, it seems like it took you much longer than it should have.
Okay.
So, point being, time seems to be passing differently now, more normal now than it was. It's almost like time was elongated or shortened or something, or at least your perception of it, since you had no sun to go off of. You had no movement of things. It was like being in a vacuum.
So, we mostly had like how many rests we took.
How long you felt like you had been traveling in these horrifying, difficult circumstances. The toll that took on your body to tell you, okay, it's time to rest again.
Okay.
So, that being said, you don't know how long away it would take. Just because you don't have a firm point of reference. I want to say it'd be under Nereneus' shadow, you could estimate probably like 3 days, but if it's shorter or longer or whatever, I don't really know. Unless you start moving and try to figure it out.
Okay. I will have been in earshot of this conversation Lorelai is having with Alexandria, and I'll kind of go up, or I guess I'll still be with Sofiane, and I'll kind of like a little bit louder for Lorelai, but with Sofiane I'll be like, 3 days travel, that's essentially the same amount of time that it took for us from the Frost Giant's crypt to here.
Was it? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Well, I mean, I can't be certain because of everything that's happened, but it seemed about 3 days' time, which would be about the same.
After hearing that, I'll look at Alexandria and say, do you know anything about the crypt? The Frost Giants? We came across them on our travels
And
up
that
here.
axe.
I don't know if you would know anything about it, how far away it is from your house to there.
I've heard tales be told when I was a lass that there were giants in the spears west of here, west of the Darkwood, but my home was in the foothills to the northern spears, east of here. Well, mostly east of here. I'd never seen or heard of any giants or any giant structures near me.
Okay.
What was the drow's name again?
Therason.
Therason, quick question. What's the likelihood that we could go back to the chapel and take shelter there and guard that? What is the likelihood of them abandoning it?
Right next to the bloody castle?
Yes, right next to the bloody castle.
I mean, I think he said it.
I mean, if there were any chance that they all scattered away and we could go back and hide there, I don't think they would check the same place twice.
Sure, that does make sense, except if they do, then they are going to leave some people at the fortress, at the keep. They will probably send out raiding parties and scouts to find us, and harass us until we are weak enough, like a spider playing with its prey. If they were to find us like that at the chapel, we would have nowhere to go and nothing but open field around us. Much worse situation to be found in.
Guess that's fair.
I also think we would have a harder time getting back to the chapel because I do not doubt that they have parties sweeping the woods after us right now.
No, I do not doubt that they are watching us right now.
Well, we need to make a decision.
I mean, if you want, I mean, I can't hide people's tracks if they aren't near me. So we can't split up from the party, from this group of refugees. We can't. Or at least I can't if I want to keep them safe and not have them be traced.
I don't think we should split up at all, but we have to make a decision if we're going east or if we're gonna go back the way we came. I already know what Sofiane's gonna say, so I'm gonna ignore Sofiane for now.
I would say that you do know that a little more conversation. The way she's describing it is you would have to go south, either along the road or along the mountains, either way, before hooking to the east. To get to the tomb, you would have to, instead of hook east, keep going south. That's kind of 3 directions you're talking about.
Okay, so either way we're going south then, right?
At least initially.
Yeah, south
Yes.
first.
I say we get a move on then and start going that way, and then we'll see what the path takes us, and just kind of decide on the way what might be best. At least we'll get them all moving.
If need be, we can, send them off into the woods. I really wouldn't like to do that if we have to stop and defend them, but if need be, we could. But I think you're right. I think we do need to get moving before we're found, if we aren't already.
Agreed. All right, south then, until further notice. I'll go and get Seraia, and I'll start walking the other way towards Seraia. Unless she's already walking this way while we're having this conversation. I don't know.
Yeah, I am. After a few minutes of being alone, I will stand up and walk back to. I will see that my friends are gathering, and I will make a wide berth so as not to interrupt them. And I will go to Alexandria and Cavan and say, I'm terribly sorry for what I have done to you. Here, please. I'll give them a sack of 100 gold pieces.
So at this point, Cavan is still lying on the ground as people are just now starting to get rounded up by your friends. And Alexandra is kind of kneeling over him. And she looked as though she was about to wake him up, but then saw you approaching. You walk forward and you say and do this, and she sits there motionless. She's staring at you. She's not blinking. Her eyes are very cold. And the pattern on her face, there's anger, but there's also conflict.
I do not ask for your forgiveness. I know I have not earned it. I do not deserve it. But I want to express my sorrow at the pain I have caused, and I'm merely grateful it was not permanent. I'll turn and walk away.
You take a couple steps, and then you hear from behind you. She said it'll be all right.
Yes, she's very good at what she does.
And she nods at you.
I'll go over to Morgan. I'm sorry for screwing up today.
You should be.
And I am.
Can you make sure it doesn't happen again?
No. But I will try. But I know you do not know much about me. And this is a pretty poor first impression. But it's important for you to know that when these things happen, they are out of my control. I did not mean to react as harshly as I did. And the drift globe thing was my own stupidity. I take full responsibility for that. But I will do what I can to try to minimize this risk in the future.
I'll kind of walk up as I'm listening, and just kind of like, well, I'll try, and then kind of walk away.
I'll just reach my hand out to Morgan. Press start.
Yeah, I think Morgan would shake Seraia's hand. That'd be all right.
Okay. I believe we are soon on the move, yes?
Yeah, I think so.
Let us go. Last thing I will do will be to go up to Lorelai and just thank you for saving them.
It's no problem. I was surprised to see you like that, but I understand. And I just hope it doesn't happen again, and I hope that next time it's not you that gets hurt irreparably.
As do I.
And I'm sorry also for lashing out at you, but it's just, we've been through so much.
You had every right. I would have done the same.
Okay.
Let's go.
So you start rounding everybody up, and people are kind of making that creaking sound as they rise up and stretch their joints out. And
are they all dads?
Some are rubbing their shoulders.
Probably they are.
Well, remember, the vast majority of them are adult or older teenage male.
Oh yeah, where are the women at?
That
We
wasn't
don't
a short
fucking
rest,
know.
was it?
That was definitely not a short rest. That was
Just making
that
sure.
was us handling a lot of stuff in real world time. That was pretty
But it was
quick
like
and
very short. Got it.
yeah.
Hold on, do we want to bring all these people back to the town? I mean, the disparity in gender will be, oh god.
As
People
you're
are gonna
saying,
move out.
this, Sofiane, people start moving, and Therasan comes up, and you feel his hand get placed like behind your neck and on your shoulder. He starts turning you in the direction everybody's walking. It kind of takes you aback a little bit, just like that face that Mitchell's making, actually. Method
Hello
acting.
there.
And he pushes you along with him, and you're kind of towards the front of the group, and you sense he's angling off just a little bit from the crowd. Get you some elbow room, and his voice drops a little bit as you start to pick up your pace and head southerly. I was hoping I'd get to talk to you.
Oh, they're gonna have a bathroom break together.
Is that what they call it? What?
I was curious.
Well, I'm here to sate that curiosity. I mean, a lot of people go through life with a little bit of curious, and they don't often get a chance to kind of test the waters, experiment a little bit. But
You like to hear yourself speak, don't you?
yes, I do. It's the
Yes.
only good voice in the forest right now.
Well, use your beautiful voice to answer this question for me, because it may be of great importance.
Shoot, anything you want.
Do you have a sister?
Yes, I do. Who? Yep. Why?
And why would she have been at Adric's Folly?
I mean, I used to live there, so I don't know, maybe visiting mama, papa, something like that. You talking about not the Adric's Folly, the castle. God
Yes.
damn it! I need to come up here more often. I don't know. Maybe she got captured back at our hometown and then was taken over there. You said, did you see her? Did you see someone who looked like me just without the beard?
Well, she was significantly more beautiful, but yes.
Oh damn! I mean, you have to say that. Like, I think she's okay. I wouldn't call her more beautiful than me, but
If you don't want the answer, then why ask the question?
I mean, you can still give the wrong answer. It's okay to be wrong. I forgive
I
you.
believe we are getting off track.
Oh. All right. So she's back there.
No, she is not. She left a week ago. And she
Where?
was not in shackles.
Oh, where'd she head off to? You're the drow. Where'd she go?
She went with the last caravan.
To where?
As far as I know, Holoth.
What was that place you said again?
Holoth. It's
Holoth?
a Holoth.
Holoth. Where
I mean-
the?
It is a major drow city in the Underdark, the seat of power for House Gullion.
Oh fuck! I guess I have to go get my sister.
I don't know if she wants you to get her or not. I was simply gathering information.
Yeah, I might as well check in though. I mean, she's pretty cool. I should. Shit. Well,
So you truly have no idea why she would be working with House Gullion?
I mean, other than like money, riches, power, like honestly, if I was there, I probably would have done the same thing. Yeah. Shit.
So you did not know. Which means your friends did not know.
Nope.
I wonder if Thizasta knew. If she recognized you.
Hopefully. Should I go back and ask? Like,
No.
damn.
Do you have any other relatives? Here, nearby.
I mean, it's like my parents back at the place. I might have a brother or two. I mean, my mom and dad were pretty. They were in an open marriage, so
You have parents in the village.
yeah. Really could be anywhere though, in terms of children.
Well, then I recommend that you not let these drow, present company excluded, of course, leave once we engage them. One of two things is happening. Either your sister is working with them, and they know who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and they know who your parents are, and they seek to turn you to their will, or your sister is not working with them, which means that you and your sister and your parents, you may be marked for something far worse.
Or option 3, she wants me to work with her, and it's a economically sound way forward for the future. I'm only here because I'm getting a house for bringing these people back. I don't really have any quarrels with the drow. So
That's fair. Well, thank you for the information.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna finish right here, and he'll, start to take a tinkle. Are you gonna?
He's already walked off.
Oh, okay. All right. It's fine. I like talking, but okay. And after like 2 minutes, he'll come back, wiping his hands on a bush.
So Sofiane joins the rest of your party, and you make your way into the dark shadows of the forest once more. That's where we'll end tonight's session at.
We left it at P. Sofiane?
I specifically wanted to end it with Sofiane taking the lead, yes.
Sofiane?
Sofiane.
How could
I figured that's probably way better than any kind of a cliffhanger I could have come up with. So
that's the title of the episode.
That poor
an
bush.
empty bladder. Right?
Sofiane, the marked one.
Yep.
Alright, so my friends, another leg of your journey. First of all, before I forget this.
Level.
No.
Oh, no.
You said you loved us.
We saved a
Well,
bunch of people.
here's the thing, and Julia can attest to this. I may be like on the verge of getting a level, but then when somebody asks me if I'm ready for a level, that automatically gets extended. It just does.
Oh,
I will throw shit at y'all.
Way to piss on that one, Sofiane. God.
it really just felt like a milestone, right? Like, if it's a milestone level, this felt like a milestone.
This was the milestone.
Yeah, I feel like we all leveled the moment Seraia killed or almost killed that innocent person. Like, we all dinged, like.
So, I do need someone. Someone's gonna have to track time. I'm looking for volunteers right now before I forget. Someone's gonna have to track time,
Seraia.
and someone's gonna have to track how many refugees are still alive going forward from here. You started at 50, you're at 48.
I want to take.
Wait, we're at 48?
Yeah,
they dead?
That's my fault. I want to keep track of the number.
Which number? The number of refugees? Okay,
Yeah.
you got it.
Wait, when did we lose one?
We lost
You
two.
lost.
Two who got shot that I brought, they were dead.
Wait, but he said 50 and now we're at 49.
48.
48.
Oh, 48. I misheard.
By the way, I will be looting their bodies if they have it.
Oh my god.
They have dirty tunics down to their knees.
Throw that in the bag.
Yeah, you got it. Sure.
I can keep track of time, I guess.
Okay.
If no one else wants to do it, I can do it.
That's fine. We'll start it. We're going to be starting it from here. The amount of time it takes you to get to wherever you're going, because there's a whole world moving around you.
Yeah.
And so I have to see what's happening when it's happening.
And a whole underworld moving around us.
There
Under
is.
us.
There is. So, that being said, you guys level up.
Yay!
Butthole.
Was it the killing of the innocent person?
Oh my gosh.
I'm giving you no incentive to kill more innocent people.
So that's a yes.
But, alright, so, before Mitchell gets distracted, as far as Penny stuff's going, raids or anything like that, all that good stuff, are we doing any of that yet, or are we just going to do a normal sign-off tonight, Mitchell?
Normal send-off tonight, though we do have Weave the Tail going, so feel free to check that out. Actually, I should try to raid them. So I will try. We'll see how it works. Because I know last time there was an issue.
Well, don't kickstart that yet. I would like to get a departing word from all the amazing players for tonight's session. I really liked tonight's session, so I'm hoping they did too. And if not, then they'll at least pretend like they did long enough to say something nice about the stream. And in the meantime, everybody check out Patreon at FableforgeRPG. For this content specifically, throw some support to Penny for a Tale and support all the amazing projects and social medias that all of these amazing players have. They've been scrolling on the screen all night. But with that, players, please, at your convenience, take it away.
Well, I said it in chat, but I love all the Brian Seraia heart-to-hearts, and that was just a great conversation. I loved that entire scene. That was great.
I would like to say, I don't know if anyone noticed, I came up with all of that. Like, as I was speaking it, I'm like, okay, words. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that came out. I'll just go off of that.
Sometimes villains aren't villains. Sometimes heroes aren't heroes.
You know?
I mean,
You know?
so that is a very succinct way to tap into one of the major themes I'm going for in this campaign.
Yeah, man.
So that
Justice is great.
That was work. That was
Yeah,
work right there.
Once I started the idea, I'm like, okay, just think Frozen. Conceal, don't feel. That's a bad route. Fear is the enemy.
I thought you were going the Jedi Sith route with it. Fear
No.
leads to anger, leads to hate, leads to dark side. Yeah.
Now let's bust this Ice Queen open. Let's go. I'm ready.
Oh my goodness.
I actually also don't think my wisdom is that high.
That's okay.
Okay, it's the thought that counts. It's the effort that was put into it. Stories taught me everything I know. It's fine. Yeah, I think my favorite part was Brian being able to Naruto run back and forth from the grave site to the chapel. Like, he was pretty proud of that. He was pretty proud of, like, being super small and stealthy and getting everyone in and out, and you know, that was good. That was good.
That was it. Did a good job. Y'all did really good. There's some good rolls there. Good reactions, good rolls.
Mm-hmm. Also, oh, go ahead, please.
No, I was just gonna say I liked all the role play tonight of everybody's own personal little moments, especially the part where Seraia fucking flashbanged us in the chapel.
God, what a stupid thing to do.
You're supposed to say like pineapples or something just for my sake, and you just whipped it out.
Listen, adrenaline will make you do crazy things, okay?
Where was that safe word?
Well, you should have had the Umbra Soul cloak
Yes, I did
on.
have the cloak on, yeah.
Okay. All right. But yeah, no, I like the idea of a safe word. That's funny.
Yeah.
The beacon of
the safe
Gondor
word
is
is
lit.
Fluffy Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fluffy Bunny is what the activation word for daylight.
I was gonna say, if you don't know, that is definitely safe words are definitely something you should know.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say, if you say
Fluffy
fluffy bunny and I don't know it's a safe word, does that just mean I turn into one? Does Lorelai just turn into a bunny?
That's a verbal.
Lorelai dies, you know, based on recent events.
That's the verbal component for both the drift globe and polymorph. It's you know.
I also like to say, now that we're level 5, Brian is officially a medium-sized creature.
Oh.
So Brian hits a growth spurt in the middle of fucking nowhere, and you're all like, "He tall."
Yeah, you can have like Brian growing over the next like 3 or 4 hours, just walking along. Then all of a sudden you're taller than Sofiane.
No, I just go for a pee break.
There you go.
Come back down, we're like, Brian?
Everyone's like, "Until." That's what's gonna happen.
Joey, do I have your permission to do the thing?
Which thing
Just
are we
level up?
doing? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead
cool.
and level up. Yeah.
He's gonna take it back now that you've asked. Don't ask him anything. Just do it.
You can go ahead and wipe your strength score deficit too if it didn't do it automatically.
Oh, God bless.
I want. Oh, I have more spells. I have level 3 spells.
And so it begins.
That's right.
Dude, I get Call Lightning with this upgrade.
geez.
Oh, lightning's fun.
It is. That's a badass spell. Well, before we depart, Mitchell, Julia, do y'all have anything? No?
Yeah, for me, same thing as always. Check out Necropunk May 12th. It is on the pre-launch Kickstarter right now.
Necropunk, do it. Are we rating? Maybe.
Yes, we are.
Ooh, look at that. All right, I'm gonna go over the stream ending screen and give the Patreon shoutouts. I love you guys. Keep having great adventures. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you all Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central, right here on Penny for a Tale and Odyssey of the Dragon Lords.
Hell yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.